And welcome, race fans, to another episode here at CRN. Tonight we will be with CSRL in their finale here at Indianapolis for a 2-hour event. Right now they are out there qualifying as we speak. We have 25 cars that will be on track at the moment, and definitely looking forward to seeing what these drivers can do here tonight. If volume for our voices or the race is too loud or not loud enough, please let me know in the chat. Had to do some fresh installs of my whole Windows. That means everything got to reload. OBS, SDK, Iracing, trading paints, anything you can think of that has to deal with broadcasting and Iracing. So I apologize, but I think everything should be good. Just let me know in the chat if you can't hear us, and I will work right on that real quickly here. But right now we're just kind of watching some of the drivers get out there, get their qualifying in right now. I'll go ahead and kind of show you the timing tower here of kind of where everybody currently stands. They still have a few minutes left with the where the heck? This is Carl's layout, not mine, so excuse me if I don't know. There it is. Got about 2 minutes left, so they got enough time for get another at least 2 laps in. So if they hit the timer before the time expires, they can still complete that lap for something here tonight. Mason Smith on top right now with a 124.1, while being followed very closely there by the number 26 of Noah. Only 0.017 separate them. Big show there by, no shocker really, by Tyler Torville, putting in some great lap times here. 124.24. So reining up right up there with the platinum drivers here, and Bryce Reiner, and then Craig Jancic for your top 5 currently. Then Dave Tilford, Savani's in there at 7, Kyle Cobbler's in there at 8, Frank Pisano in 9th, and Herbert Pineda back there in 10th. And if you guys haven't known, you haven't seen us in a while, or you've been here at CRN, I am Jimmy Covert, and I'll be joined shortly by my co-host, Carl Hanwork, currently out with his little one, one of our biggest fans out there for his first baseball game. So looking forward to seeing how they did here, and it does look like Carl's jumping in the booth, so making it here on time as we're getting just about to get started, or ending qualifying here with CSRL.
Yeah, coming to you remote here on my way home. But I mean, I was going to miss this race one way or another. I'm definitely going to be home to see the back half for sure. But of course, the game running a little bit late here, so I'm on my way. But I mean, Indianapolis, it's a unique track. I mean, it's of course, when you think of Indianapolis, you think of the big the quad oval, whatever you want to call it, the 4-corner oval, but the road course here, I mean, it's got its history too. I mean, even Formula One coming here, obviously the super bikes make their stop here. Formula One, obviously not anymore, but I mean, it was kind of the site of the U.S. Grand Prix for a while. So it's not like it's a track that isn't that popular around the world. People know of Indianapolis even for the road course. And tonight, I mean, Jimmy, the championship, it's not a runaway. I mean, we've seen how many seasons now in a row where Jancic seems like he kind of had a hold of the championship, and then the last couple races, he stretches out that lead, and it's kind of over by the end, but it's anything but over for this one.
Yeah, anything but over. Obviously, this 2-hour race here with double points on the line. Craig Jancic's not sitting on the pole at the moment here as they finish up qualifying here. And I'll go ahead and I'll clear that stuff out here, and I should be able, no, not yet. Results aren't finalized yet, as there's still a few drivers still on the track here, getting their last few seconds in, trying to maybe better their start. But yeah, they're not set in stone, and with the double points, one bad race, there is 25 cars on the track, so if you need to be up towards the front and you need a guy to be in the back, there's that opportunity for that to be here. This track can be tricky. There is a lot of dive-in zones. There's a lot of opportunity to make that move to the inside to see if it will stick, but you have to rely on the other drivers around you to know exactly what's going on around the field here. And it plays a big part here I did get a chance to get out there and make a run here. I was only running in about the 125, so definitely a lot of these, the top half of these drivers, definitely faster than I am here. But, it's been a while since I've been on Indy, and like I said, Carl messaged me today.
I'm hearing a lot of excuses, Jim. I'm hearing a lot of excuses.
I got a lot of excuses. I had to reboot iRacing. I had to reboot my whole computer. Everything's all fresh. I'm rusty and I'm old and everything else. But it's a lot of fun here and waiting to get started here. Still waiting for the results to populate, as it does look like they are showing here. Go ahead.
I think what's kind of unique about Indy is, for the most part, it's a flat track. Even the infield when you're going through, obviously that's completely flat. I know that the corners, 1, 2, 3, and 4, and for the oval, they have that little bit of banking, and you get a little bit of that when you're coming up onto the track, and especially coming out of the final corner, leading you, a reverse style down the front stretch. But there's kind of a lot of blind corners on the track if you really come down to it. Even you go into turn 1 to the right, it's not too bad, but kind of picking the entry point to go into turn 2 and even through like 3 and 4, kind of leading into that the middle section of the track, and the infield can get a little bit just you got to kind of feel it out to figure out where to go. Through the S's, not exactly that easy, but especially when you're coming up to kind of the last little chicane, you go up into on the main track in between 1 and 2 for the oval, and you have to kind of pick that entry point going to the right, and then it's a quick left-hand turn as well. It's just because it's flat doesn't mean you can just see forever. You got to pick out your points here pretty carefully.
Yeah, them corners definitely come up fast, and obviously as qualifying is over, we'll go ahead and I'll do a quick rundown of the qualifying results here, as Mason Smith will start on the pole here tonight with Noah in the outside car there in the number 26. Tyler Torville pulls in there in third, with Bryce Reiners in fourth, Craig Jancic in fifth, Dave Tilford in sixth, Savani Madrigal is back there in seventh, Kyle Cobbler in eighth, Frank Pisano in ninth. Herbert Pineda rounds out your top 10. Then we'll go back through the rest of the field here. In 11th place will be Christian Ortiz Torres, Trent Blaylock back there in 12th, Cesar Colon Torres back there in 13th, Jim Dutton's back there in 14th, Bay is back there in 15th. I'm going to mess his name up sooner or later. William Burrell, Glenn Lawson, Ian Wilson, Paul Bailey, Todd Terrell, Jay Little, Have, Sierra, Devin Young, Stephen Price, and Leo are all rounding out your 25 car here field here tonight. So looking forward to it here. They're getting rolling here. You can see the cars getting their tires warmed up as they get ready to take this first lap, pace lap here at Indy, getting ready for a 2-hour event. So a lot of patience is going to be needed here tonight for these drivers to basically, overcome. And we've seen, somebody have a mistake early and be able to kind of come back a little bit, but 2 hours, a little bit of patience, and we're going to see how these drivers take turn number 1 here from the start. Obviously right now just kind of going around the track. So definitely maybe the nerves setting in, maybe somebody sitting in the back, maybe somebody starting to already think about strategy, fuel strategy, tire strategy. A little more comes into play here than that 45-minute run, Carl, or excuse me, 1-hour run.
Yeah, when we briefly talked about the Platinum Championship coming down to it. Obviously, Jancic leading by 6 points over Hamilton and 10 points over Mason Smith. Certainly with the double points, it's still in play for Mason Smith, especially with the pole here tonight. But you look at the gold. The gold is anything but over. You got Tyler Torville leading by 11 points over David Tilford, and then what we thought, that might have been over for the silver with Bill Burrell not being quoting that he wasn't getting attendance, but I believe I didn't get a chance to hear the starting order there, but I know he was planning on running this thing remotely to have a chance of this. Only 7 points in between Todd Torville and Bill Burrell coming in tonight.
Yeah, Bill Burrell is out there. He is currently in the 17th position. So yeah, like you said, there's definitely some room there. And Tyler Torville, the other silver driver, only sitting in 17th. So they're neck and neck, and anything can happen. So we'll see how they pan out here. This is also a special event in the upcoming week here. they're coming down their final turns here as you come down where this is the first part where they meet the track. And then they have to make a sharp right-hand turn. This is a very dangerous zone here. A lot of off tracks, usually off to the left. And then this here is a left-hand turn that kind of comes to this chicane area. This is also the area where they would exit to go into the pits. So it's a nice long entry there. And if you're not careful, you can't miss it. Coming out of the final corner here, they get back on the main track, down the long straightaway here at Indy, but getting ready to go green here, Carl. So, you know, obviously, take your time, get home. We're going to watch these boys get started here, and Mason Smith's going to lead them off.
Yeah, to get a chance to go live, I can try and take a peek here as I'm going home. I can certainly take a look over because it's again not a race that I want to miss. I mean, we've seen a lot of different championships come down to the wire. You know, even over in the Core GT when we used to have the points leader start from the rear, it certainly made it interesting. But I mean, here double points, that's enough to make it interesting. But more than double the length, 2 hours here for the finale. It's going to be a real fun one for sure.
Yeah, real fun right now. I did go live there for you to catch there at the beginning here. But Mason Smith got that edge right here, but it does look like the crossover by Noah able to get out. Craig Jancic out there. Who is that? No. That was Bryce Reiner out there. No, that was Craig Jancic out in the grass here, but gets back in track there. Able to keep going, looking to kind of make a statement here early down to the inside of Mason Smith there. Able to make it work there, keep it off each other, but Craig Jancic really wanting to get in front of Mason Smith because Mason Smith's been fast here pretty much all practice and was able to grab that pole. But Mason Smith goes around. Nobody hits him. Wow, what a move by Mason Smith holding on to that there, but it's going to lose a lot of spots. Like I said early on, them cold tires and that McLaren really snapped around. Kind of the issue I've always had with the McLaren, because one of my favorite cars is that mid-entry getting on too much gas. Their car will snap around in the high RPMs, and he falls victim to that. Falls from second place all the way back to 14th. Plenty of race to get that back, but he is going forward here. No damage on that 6 car, but out front is Noah leading the way here in the number 26 in the Corvette. One of the cars I've seen this week kind of be popular amongst the streamers and a lot of the highs, the top split drivers. So Corvette making a comeback here on this American track. And taking some wins here for the official series. But right now it is Noah, then Bryce Reiner, Savani, Tyler Torville, Craig Jancic sitting in 5th, Kyle Kalbers in 6th, Herbert Pineda is up to 7th, Devin Young up 13 spots already in 8th, Trent Blaylock's in 9th, and Glenn Lazon back there in 10th. So yeah, tough break there by Mason Smith, but already back up to 11th. We know he's quick, we know he has pace. Now he's just going to need to obviously step it up just a little bit. So there's going to be a little bit of urgency for the 6 to kind of come back up the field. We know he can do it, but there's a lot of time left here. We're only on our 2nd lap here, Carl, and already things firing up.
Yeah, and I mean, Mason, obviously, he would have liked to have a little bit of luck here tonight. Obviously, his skill got him the pole here tonight, so he did what he had to do to get himself on the pole. But, you know, he needed to have a good race without any kind of issues, and it's already been an issue. Now, the luck that he needed, he might have had to use that luck on Craig Jancic not having a good race, not finishing right behind him in 2nd place, or even, beating him for that matter. But that luck may have already ran out with the fact that he spun and nobody touched him. So, I mean, I don't know who I got to give the props more to. Mason for locking it up, staying directly in the middle of the track, knowing that he's kind of a sitting duck there, or more likely all the drivers with the awareness to get around him and not making any kind of contact. Obviously could have ruined their race, could have ruined his race as well. So great job by all the drivers out here. Great wreck avoidance. It keeps Mason in there with a chance. May still need a 2nd round of luck. He may still need some kind of issue for Jancic, whatever that may be. But, I mean, right now, if you're Craig Jancic, you got to love how this thing started.
No, I mean, he's definitely in front of the 6. That's where he needs to be. He can't let that 6 by and then run away and get many positions. So maybe just a little bit of eagerness and the pressure from Craig Jancic here early on. Mason Smith made him make that minor mistake. Yeah, and like you said, just a hats off to all the drivers here at CSRL just kind of, getting around a spun car here early on. And, it's been, known here now, for iRacing about these cold tires. You got to get them warmed up. You got to get some grip in them. Some people are just a little better at managing them cold tires to be able to really get them laps in, or as much car speed time out of it as possible. And Craig Jansik's been very, very good with that, even before the old cold tires thing kind of came about, but being able to get that really good start from the jump here. But right now, Noah's out there by a nice margin. Got a 4-second lead already on the field. Closest runner there is the number 87 of Bryce Reiner, and running in second. So having a good run there in the Mustang. Savani back there in a McLaren looking to get around. It looks like Dave Tilford. What happened to Dave? He is a lap down. So something happened with Dave. I'm trying to see what happened. I'll look back here. Dave Tilford went off track here just a little while ago and then came back on track. So we'll go back, just kind of give a quick turn there. You can see number 12 going around. Not what Dave Tilford needed here, as he is also in a battle for that championship. Plenty of time remaining, but big mistake here by the number 12. So big mistakes by a few drivers early on already. It does look like, trying to look to see what else has happened here throughout the field as I've been just jabbering my jaws off here. It does look like Devin Young went off track as well. Oh, spun around here early, as he had to let a lot of drivers go by, doing a little backup. Oh, another driver there. Who was that? That was Leo. Looks like Leo went around as well. Yep, Leo. Ooh, some front end damage there. Maybe seeing Devin Young go around and maybe locking it up here. So a few drivers still having issues here. Does look like Leo's gonna have to come in and maybe get a fast repair, as the bumper did snap off, but iRacing put it back on for him.
Yeah, the fishing line isn't in full effect as it sometimes is to get that thing back on there. But I'll tell you what, I mean, you look as a points leader, of course, you like to be the points leader, but you get into these double points finales, and it kind of scares you a little bit, and you start to question: would you rather be the one in the lead being chased, or would you rather be the chaser? And it seems right now, at least so far, I know it's plenty early in this race, not even 10 minutes into this race here, but the guys being chased are the ones not fumbling the ball here tonight. It is the ones, certainly the chasers, with Mason Smith trying to catch Craig Jansik, and obviously having the issue here on the early run, and obviously Dave Tilford trying to chase down Tyler Torville. Not exactly doing a good job either, spinning out, and both guys self-inflicted injuries. I mean, it wasn't getting into a sticky situation. It wasn't involving another car. It was self-inflicted here. So, I mean, really nobody to blame but themselves and them damn cold tires.
Damn cold tires. It's kind of a good thing and a bad thing. A little more realism, but really kind of a shocker, when you can only, sometimes only put about half the amount of pressure and speed into some of these corners, different cars being a little more picky, especially the GTP series. Obviously, we're with the GT3s here, but obviously 2 series up. We got the LMP2s and then the GTPs. The GTPs, it is like night and day, hot tires and cold tires. And if you're running sprint races like this, you're probably just better off for just staying out on them worn tires, as it takes a good almost 2 laps to get them up to temperature and ready to rip, roar, and tear on them cars. But here we are tonight. We are 8 minutes in right now. It is Noah out front by a nice still 4 seconds, a little over 4 seconds over Bryce Reiner, and then another couple seconds back to Savani sitting there in P number 3, up 4 spots. Biggest mover of the race was Devin Young, but fell here early all the way back to P23, so now down 2 spots from his start. But your biggest mover is 9 there, Have. Have is up to P number 15 in the McLaren here, doing a good job working his way up through the field here, seeing if you get the biggest mover of the race. So a lot of moving up, a few drivers back, and yeah, Dave Tilford just tough break for the 12. I just it almost pains me because matter of fact, him and Chris. I don't see Chris Hamilton out here tonight as he was in the running there to have a be in the running for the points here, but. Yeah, Chris reached out and asked if I could do a green version for them for their Indy race here this weekend. So definitely help to see the green CRN outlined logo on their car here. Maybe one of them. I know Chris streams live when he usually races, so it'd be good to see another version of the CRN car. It's also, when they ask and I'm saying, yeah, sure. I love to see the drivers that really support what we do, what me and Carl do here, and everybody else that's involved here at CRN. There's some other people behind the books here that help out at CRN, Dave Tilford being one of them, along with our other broadcasting crew and a few others that might be on like hiatus for a little while, but I'm sure they'll be back. But me and Carl here holding the fort down with Jack and Alan for the other broadcast crew. Matter of fact, Jack and Alan should be going live here a little bit later here tonight to pick up Pit Road Speed Limit Racing as they will be at Michigan. So definitely a tough one to miss here.
Don't say it too many times, Jimmy. Just say it one time because it already pains me that we're not going to be at Michigan.
It is a little painful that we don't get to go to Michigan, but we can't let CSRL not have a great broadcast here, as well as this is their finale here for the season. Looking to come back here with us here again, after the season's completed, with a small break, of course, and carry on here with their continuing broadcasting services for CSRL, as we got a great relationship with Jim Dutton and the gang. And I know a lot of drivers kind of got together here at the Sports Expo. So hopefully Herrick was up there sporting the 40 racewear, and everybody else. Also, you got some new sponsors there on the screen. I'm sorry I didn't memorize them. I know it's Martin PC, Simcraft, 40 Racewear, and now Speed Hub, I believe, as I put their logo up this afternoon. So it's on the screen there rotating. So head over to look them any of those up. And if you need any of your sim stuff, sim boots for 40 Racewear here at Martin PC, if you need a computer to run iRacing, Simcraft, I think, for some sim racing gear, along with the other sim one. They have setups as well. So go venture over there, get yourself a good deal. And if you reach out to Jim Dutton, maybe they have a code or something that you get a couple dollars off, and maybe helps the league out here just a little bit. I'm not sure if they're affiliated like that, but you can always reach out and ask. Jim's a good guy. He can talk to you about anything. Got a little bit of an accident back here with Bay and William Burrell happening. Let me check to see what happened back here as we're on with Bay. Coming down the front stretch, just past the pits, down into turn one. Oh, and just missing the breaking point going by. It just kind of goes wide, but Bill Burrell spinning around, trying to hold on to it there. Just looks like off to the side. No collision together, but enough to spin out and lose some time here early on. So another tough break for another chaser, Carl, with William Burrell moving back to P number 21.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that completes our trifecta here tonight, and all three chasers now in the points have had their kind of solo issues here. So first part of this race, first quarter of the race, not treating these drivers well, but they don't have to worry about a 45-minute race here tonight. It is 2 hours long, so plenty of time for maybe their other fellow competitors to have some issues as well, and kind of mix it up here and get them back in the running. But it's the pressure. Sometimes some drivers can deal with the pressure, some can't. I mean, now this late in the race, you're trying to kind of settle in. You're trying to feel out that car, figure out how you can gain a little bit of time on your competitors. But as usual here for CSRL, a ton of different cars out there. So, if there's only 15 cars out there, you make a mistake, maybe you're only losing 2 spots. But, here in these races here with CSRL, they always got a ton of cars out here, which is great. And certainly a testament to Jim Dutton, to Craig Jancic, Bill Burrell, all the admins, Renan Dilemma, back behind the scenes that are constantly, getting out there, whether it be recruiting or, the best recruiting, always word of mouth, and And to get more drivers in it seems like for any league, whether it's our league over in Core, whether it's here in CSRL, it seems like word of mouth is obviously by far the best recruiting tool for any league out there. So they got something good cooking here. They definitely got a good GT series, and the drivers that are in here certainly love coming out here every Wednesday night, and I know we do as well. I know we joke about not being over there for Michigan, but honestly, this is where I want to be. I want to be here for this finale for sure. This is, again, I know the Chasers have all had some issues here tonight, but it doesn't matter. All 3 points coming down to the final race. As an admin, as a league member, as a driver, that's what you want. You want that thing coming all the way down to that final race.
Yeah, and that's what the drivers kind of want. They like, they've been competing against each other this whole time, going back and forth. They have their rivals. Some having some bad races. We've seen Greg Jancic have some bad races. We've seen Mason have his ups and downs. We've seen how fast Christopher Hamilton was, but just unfortunately having issues with a fuel calculator, or just that maybe not that ability to, or learning how to save just that little bit more gas to make their pit stops on par with everybody else's or better. And it's not from the lack of speed or the talent on the track, because they can race. So it just, all the different aspects kind of coming into play. And when you get to that type of racing or skill level or set where you're around certain people, the little things are what starts to add up. The tenths, the pit stop, the fuel mileage, all that stuff starts to add up. And if you can take advantage of some of those things over your competitors, and because your track speed's the same, then that's where you're going to win. And so we see a lot of races. We've seen a lot of races, 20, 30 minutes in, nose to tail, just who's going to take the lead, making moves, pass here, pass there, and then come down to the pits, and things just kind of work out in a different way, shape, or form for one driver or the other. But right now, working out for their benefit and running away with this thing here is Noah. He is out to a over 6-second lead over Bryce Reiner. Then another few seconds back to Savani, sitting back there in P number 3. Craig Jancic sitting in 4th at the moment, and still 11 seconds back from the leader. Not something we typically see from Craig, but obviously a little bigger picture in mind here for that championship, knowing that he has to stay in front of that number 6. Mason Smith obviously fell all the way back to P number 11. Has been crawling his way back up through the field, slowly but surely finding himself in P number 8. So Mason, one of the faster cars out on the track at the moment, making his way through the field. Mason's also the person that he won't take you out, not on purpose. Obviously, me and Mason have had our run-ins for sure, because I've raced Mason plenty of times. But he's not the driver out there that's going to do you dirty, take you out in a corner just to move you out of the way. So he's going to make them passes clean, clear. He's going to show a move. He's going to stick it, and hopefully whoever he's around, gives him a little bit of a courtesy back, because he typically is a little bit faster than a lot of drivers. But he currently sits back there in P8, chasing down Herbert Pineda on the back bumper here. As you can see, he's got 2 in sight now. He needs to get around Herbert Pineda and Kyle Cobbler there, and then work his way back up to the bumper of Tyler Torville. But right now, like I said, we're in that almost 18-minute mark. We're going to be coming up on, pit stops, and probably, I would say within 15 minutes, we should start seeing drivers start coming in, start with their strategy. Who's out there been saving tires? This track eats tires, as flat as it is. Even it's pretty smooth, but you're running over curves. You got a lot of tight turns, a lot of sweeping curves. The banking on the super speedway part of it, that helps just a tad, but that kind of presses you to run faster and try to really get in some of them corners. So if you're overdriving the car, your tire's going to be gone, and you're going to notice it later on in the race. But right now, they're doing a great job. Right now, people going on. Does look like Jim Dutton went off track here just a little bit. We'll just take a snapshot back, see what happened to Jim, as he was the man in charge here, but just a little slip up there, gets off on the access road, and this is coming down the backstretch part of it, I believe. Yeah, this is the backstretch part where they're just up on the track for a couple hundred meters and then down into these last and final turns. But Jim back on the track, going straight forward, so just losing a little bit of time, but enough to take a look back to see where everybody's at. We'll go ahead and move back to some of your other drivers back here. We'll check on a few. Ian Wilson back here in 19th place. Been pretty quiet, but great, consistent driver. Been here for the majority of the races and just kind of putting on a good show, just out there doing his thing right now. He's in 19th. He's up a spot from where he started, so hey, can't complain. You're not back behind where you started. Letting drivers go, that might be a little quicker around them. Sometimes you get them drivers, they have the mistakes, they fall back. And then they really start pushing your back bumper. And sometimes it's, even though you're in front of them, it's just easier to let them go. But Ian doing a great job here tonight.
Yeah, I think there's two things that I would need to recognize. One, we'll touch on kind of what you just mentioned about it, and that's pit stops coming up. But tonight, just like every other night, I mean, they start with a small amount of fuel, enough that they wouldn't be able to get their 45-minute race done, that they'd have to take a pit stop. Well, they start with the same amount here tonight, but they got 2 hours to deal with. So they can come in and, we've seen the 45-minute race. They can come in on lap 1 and get enough fuel to make it to the end of 45 minutes. They can't do that here tonight. And they can stretch this fuel tank out as far as they want. They're still going to need a second pit stop here tonight. So the question becomes, do you run this thing all the way out? Do you kind of cut this race into thirds, if that's even possible? I'm not sure you can even really get far in the race. But you also got to think about how much fuel do you put in, and how much of these drivers work on that? Because again, you could take a full tank of fuel, and if you're taking a full tank, you have time to take 4 tires if you want to. But if you decide maybe I only want to take 2 tires, well, you certainly don't want to take a full tank of fuel if that's the case, because you want to get out there quicker. So, if you split this thing up, fuel-wise, maybe you take 2 the first time, maybe you take the other 2 the second time, maybe you take no tires and just decide that, you're just going to run a fuel game. But there are a lot of different strategies that can play out. The other thing I got to say is we talked about all these drivers, the chasers, the ones being chased, but got to give it up to Bryce Reiner and Siviani Madrigal. They've certainly, they've had their good races in the past. It doesn't seem like it's kind of been their season this year. But good to see them up there in the top 3 here tonight. They've, avoided the incident there for Information Smith. They're faster than Craig Jancic right now, whether Craig's saving back there or not. They're up there in the top 3, so definitely shout out to them.
Yeah, I mean, they're doing a fantastic job. I mean, it's, where you think you'd see, we would have seen them in the majority of the season, obviously having their ups and downs, and but here tonight to just kind of getting a good run here, and maybe a good way to close out the season, kind of showing the way here. Obviously, newcomer Noah out front there. The overlay doesn't have him in a class, so I have to keep the overall up or he'll disappear. But he's disappearing on his own. He's out to a nice 8-second lead in that Corvette to just kind of.
He's so fast he ran out of his division.
He's gone. Obviously I know there was some slip-ups here early on, but man, Noah just checking out. And, that's, what he's out here to do. He's out here to show that he's got game, he's got speed, definitely looking to compete for that championship next season, I hope. It's good that he was a good addition out here. Plenty of fast drivers here at CSRL. If you're not a fast driver and you're still looking for a league, this is the place to be. There's plenty, and they got multiple divisions. They got a platinum if you're fast. They got a gold if you're in the mid. And if you're a little bit slower and newer, they got a silver. I mean, hey, throw me in there. I go out there and I try to run to see what my laps are. But I've been out of practice so much, I'd be down there in the silver. Like I said, I was lucky if I could hit top 15 here with these drivers. I'd say I'm average, or I used to be anyways. So it's definitely, a good league to join. And, they're always looking for new people. Always looking. They were so close to hitting that 40 driver mark that they were looking for. 40 race to wear was putting a pair of shoes on the line for the 40 drivers to hit. Never actually hit the 40 drivers in attendance. So a shout out to Jim Herrick. I'm sure he'll keep that open for future races, hopefully. We'll see if we can crack that 40 drivers on the field here for CSRL with this great GT series. They give you a choice of 2 cars. They do have one fast repair on a 45-minute run besides the final finale. Basically, if something happens early on in lap 1, you can come in, you take your fast repair, and you get your pit stop out of the way, and before you know it, you're in the battle for some sort of great finish if you got some sort of speed. So you're not totally out. Maybe just behind the Powerball just a little bit, but you're just pitting early. So just an early pit stop, get your stuff repaired back in and back out there. It makes it very competitive. Very good layout that they have here at CSRL. Sponsors are great. They've always been great. Some of the sponsors actually driving their, well, at least 40 Racewear with Herrick and the boys obviously being out there supporting CSRL. So it's always great to come over here with CSRL and watch them here race. And obviously we got great fans out there. Chris Hamilton in attendance, so shout out to Chris. I wish you were out here, buddy. Obviously shout out to Barry and everybody else that shows up, anybody that's coming over from any of the other races. It's a little slower this week because with the holidays there on Monday and a lot of seasons kind of wrapping up here as this month goes on, but it will turn right around, I think, at the end of the month. Matter of fact, it's perfect timing for me because I'm going to take a little break, a personal break out. I'm going to leave my house, knock on wood, and we're going to go on vacation. I'm going to take the family on vacation, come back, and then we'll start this thing all back up again. I'll run any races all the way probably through Christmas time or the holidays. There's only one, I have to tell all the leagues out there, there's only one day, well, one major day in October that's a no-go, and that's Halloween. If you got a race on Halloween, CRN probably won't be there unless Carl wants to turn corners and hand out candy or something, but my wife will have my head. That's the only one that's off limits for me. So but yeah, right now we are 25 minutes in, trying to see if anybody's pit yet, and I don't think so. I'm gonna go ahead and pull up the pit number. Nope, just Dave Tilford there on lap number 2, and obviously currently 1 lap down, so he'll be out there just a little bit longer. And you might see him move up, or at least get back on the lead lap. Dave was pretty fast. He qualified. I mean, he's down 19 spots, qualifying all the way up there in P6. So definitely know that 12 has speed. Just what can he do here for the race? And it does look like we have some comers up here. Got the Jay Little in, Stefan Price, Ian Wilson, all coming in here at the 26 lap mark, Carl.
Well, it figures as soon as, Hamilton figures out his pit stop, as they had obviously a good pit stop last race.
Right.
And now he's not here. So it makes perfect sense. So hopefully he retains that knowledge or the overlay or the crew chief or whatever he used for the last race and carries it over the next season and continues to help and stuff out. But now, it's really the battle back now that we're kind of watching. We're watching the battle back from Mason Smith. Hopefully, time to battle back and kind of get in the mix here. But I mean, Tyler Torville doing a heck of a job up there at the front.
Yeah, just follow him. Following Craig Jancic around right on his bumper. I mean, in the spot.
What he needs to do, same here, but still plenty of race to go.
Plenty of race to go, and the chasey, I guess the people being chased, for the people, obviously they got the leaders of the points divisions kind of having a pretty decent race so far, and I think that's weighing on their mind. Like, I need to finish this, I need to be consistent. My competitors are, had signs of issues, but if you look behind Tyler Torville, guess who is in P number 6 and closing in on Tyler Torville and Craig Jancic? It would be the number 6 of Mason Smith, moving his way all the way back from 11th to 6th. You want to talk about a car that has speed? Look right no farther than the 6. And like I said, Craig Jancic might be on some sort of fuel or tire game. Mason is on, I need to get past Craig Jancic game. So he needs to do everything he can do to make his way past the number 88 of Craig Jancic, and doing a fantastic job catching up right now.
Well, and I'm going to make a prediction as we always do, and 90% of the time I'm wrong, and that same for you pretty much. But
Yep.
I mean, you wonder what Craig is doing right now. If this is Craig's speed, if he's trying to save fuel, if he's trying to save tires. I know he's always out there trying to be fast, but he's pretty good at saving as well. But I mean, you look at the qualifying time. I mean, the qualifying times kind of tell you a little bit of the story. Maybe a little bit off pace here tonight for Jancic, and just not having the pace to hang there. I'm sure he's not full out right now. He knows Mason's still behind him. He knows he can still get out there, save fuel, save tires. But ultimately, everybody's gonna have to pit 2 times. I know he can gain some time back if he makes it an extra lap compared to Mason. I know Mason's, I'm sure, digging hard and running that car to the bone to try and get back up through this field, and not exactly in save mode. But I don't know. I mean, to me, it feels like maybe Jancic is just a little off pace here tonight, and still an opportunity for Mason Smith.
Yeah, I mean, it's just in here. It's going to make the race interesting and down the wire, obviously. Your leader, Noah, down into the pits right now here at 29.49. And I think this is kind of where you've got Savani's coming down, Bryce Reiner's coming down. And I think this is kind of the point here. And I see Craig Jancic going to stay out for that one more lap, Carl. And this here, I think, is going to be what it is, where he knows if he can come in, because we're at 30 minutes. So I don't know how much fuel. If they can stay out 45 minutes on a tank of gas, Craig's going to come in just one more time after this pit stop. So he'll make it. He won't have to save fuel. And that's probably the big thing here. And you see Mason Smith coming in here as well, right behind Tyler Torville. So making up great time there. He's right on the back bumper of Tyler Torville as they head down in the pits for that stop. So yeah, I'm sure you'll probably see. I don't see no cars going up. So I'm kind of impressed. Them not taking new tires. I'm gonna take tires.
I mean, especially depending on how much fuel you're taking. If you're only taking, a little bit of fuel to get you to that point where you just need to fill up your tanks. I mean, it comes down to strategy. Maybe you come in now, you just take enough fuel to get you to that hour mark or that more.
Yeah.
And then you take your 4 tires with it. So I mean, it's really another strategy that they can go with. There's so many different ways to play out, and our strategy. We have all the ideas. We're hardly ever right though. So who the hell? I mean, maybe somebody will make it on a 3-stop strategy. Who knows?
Yeah, Paul Bailey's spinning off the track there. As you've seen, we were watching Mason kind of go behind Tyler Torville here. So definitely a little bit of pressure now for Tyler for the 6, but obviously not like class pressure. It's just track position pressure here by the 6. And, will Tyler fight him off? We will see, I'm sure he knows that Mason is on a mission. But it's not like Tyler doesn't have pace here tonight. He's doing a fantastic job, just currently sitting in 5th. It does look like Craig Jancic has made his way down in the pits as the drivers are out there. So we'll see where he comes by. But here comes Noah down the front stretch here. He's going to pass Craig Jancic in the pits here as Craig is still taking service as Noah goes by. So definitely Noah just killing it here tonight. Been pretty much flawless in that yellow GMAC Corvette here tonight. Bryce Reiner making his way by as well. And then Craig Jancic here coming out in front of Savani. So Craig with another outstanding pit stop here tonight. Makes up 1 position on the track in the P number 3. And then Tyler Torville back there in 5th, and Mason Smith still got his work cut out for him as he needs to get around Tyler in order to work his way forward, but still making great strides here to make his way back to the front as he was the pole sitter here tonight. So pole sitter had troubles working his way back, and there's a reason he was on the pole, and that was he was fast, but now he has to deal with traffic. Doesn't have all that clean air. Noah out to that 7-second lead. Now he's going to have traffic to kind of deal with as everybody's starting to get jumbled up a little bit. Craig Jancic behind his partner in crime, Bryce. So they're running 2 and 3 right now. Savani, I'm sure would like to get that podium position back here tonight as he was up there getting it done. Tyler Torville's in 5th, Mason Smith's in 6th, Herbert Pineda's in 7th. Trent Blaylock up to 8th spot. Glenn Lazon in 9th, and Christian Ortiz Torres has found his way up into the top 10. And the rest of your field is Cesar Colon Torres, Jim Dutton, Ave Sierra back there in 13th. Dave Tilford is up to 14th. Frank Pisano, Devin Young, Todd Terville, Kyle Cobbler, Ian Wilson, William Burrell, Stefan Price, Leo Gausch, Jay Little, Bay is back there in 24th, and Paul Bailey for your 25 car field here tonight at Indianapolis. Yes. And I think since our pit stops have all been completed, the only one that needs to come back in is Dave Tilford. We're going to go ahead and put you on a little bit of Love to Hear It here tonight. I'm going to grab a drink of water while Carl finishes his car ride home from, I'm sure, what was an awesome day with his kid. So go ahead and we'll do a Love to Hear It, and we'll be right back. And a few sights and sounds here from the CSRL league here on their finale at Indianapolis. 47 minutes in, and Noah is out to a 14-second lead over Bryce Reiner, who is sitting in P number 2. Third place goes to Craig Jancic at the moment. And then Savani is back there in P number 4. Mason Smith is up to 5th. So pretty good comeback there for Mason so far, but needs that 88 to slow down so he can get on by and maybe get a chance at that, grabbing that championship or taking it away here late in the season. But Jim Dutton having an issue here on about 52 minutes in here. We'll see what happened to Jim. Probably just an off track here. There's plenty of way to kind of lose it here. Ooh, nice lock up there by Jim and the other drivers for not hitting him. And spins the tires and gets going again. So slowing down, make himself predictable, and allows some drivers to go by. So just losing a little bit of time there. That's the only reason it showed up for as a crash. But the 83 of Jim Dutton back underway, moving forward. Currently sitting at P number 13, up one spot. Your biggest mover of the race right now is going to be the 979 of Have, working his way through the field in that McLaren. So just good job just kind of keeping it consistent and moving their way up through. Probably had a really good pit stop as well. But yeah, Carl, I think Noah is really a staple here in the finale, just kind of running away.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a clinic. Obviously, qualified well to be up there on the outside pole, and would love to see what could have happened had Mason not had the issue. I mean, of course, we'd like to see what could have happened just points-wise, but I mean, the battle that could have been between Mason and and Noah, it's a shame, but it happened, and we're working off that right now. And I mean, the best lap between all the drivers right now is Noah with a 124.32, and then second fastest lap is Mason with a 124.48. So both clearly the fastest cars on the track, and still plenty of time yet, as you see Mason now closing in on both Siviani and Jancic. So now the question is, certainly Mason wants to get by both of these drivers, but does he try and do anything cheeky to try and help Siviani get by Craig as well? Because that's certainly going to benefit him in the long run.
I mean, obviously Craig, I think, just trying to run a clean, consistent race here and finish well. And it'll put him in a situation to win the championship. Mason's going to needs to get by, obviously, but definitely going to need Craig to fall a few positions as well. Because I don't, the laps that Noah's running right now, and kind of the pretty large gap. Mason's got 19 seconds in order to catch up to Noah, and that's a pretty big overall gap there for to make up here with somebody that's been as consistent, as fast as that number 26 here tonight. But yeah, I mean, it's possible. There's plenty of time to do it. But right now, with Mason in traffic, trying to get by some competitors, a poor position, and Noah just kind of having a field day out there, just doing what he needs to do to kind of run away with this thing here, and put a staple on the season here. As look out next season, I'm coming with a vengeance, and I should be somebody to keep an eye on. So good job there for Noah as of right now. We're still early though. Still an hour and a little over an hour and 8 minutes, 8.5 minutes left here for this race. So anything can change. We've seen drivers go for this amount of time, and they start getting something that we haven't seen before. Because they're now over their typical race. So now fatigue will come into play. But can you hit your marks for that amount of time over and over and over again?
Yeah, and it's not necessarily fatigue in the sense that the drivers are tired, because a lot of these drivers are seasoned drivers. A lot of them, have been in the multi-class races, the Iracing special events, where they're running 2 sometimes 3, sometimes even 4 stints in a row. So they can run, 3-4 hours straight without it being an issue. But the iRacing special events and league racing, especially league racing for the championship, are completely different, and it's hard to explain the difference. But the fatigue really, it's more mental fatigue, and it's more just how long can you keep consistently putting down those exact same laps and doing just as well. I mean, you look at the laps that we've gone so far, and given the fact that we're close to halfway, it's roughly, if Mason's going to have to pick up 19 seconds, almost 20 seconds at this point, second half of the race, he's going to have to go a half a second faster per lap to Noah. And it's really, plain and simple, it's unrealistic without a mistake by Noah to make that gain. So without a mistake by Noah, the win is out the picture. Right now, Mason has to focus on second place, which, second place is not exactly going to be easy here. Bryce Reiner having a really good race here tonight. He's up there currently 3.5 seconds ahead of Jancic, so running a really good race up there in the 87. But that's got to be Mason's goal right now. Mason's got to be able to get around Siviani, then he's got to get around Jancic, and then he's got to run down and pass Bryce Reiner. It's a big feat, but if he wants any chance of that championship, he's got to do that, and possibly even have Siviani get back past Jancic before this thing is over. But again, we still got an hour left in this race. We're not even halfway through this race yet, and we got another set of pit stops.
Yeah, one more set of pit stops, and it's really gonna be kind of key. I'm looking about at least 15 after. If somebody can make it to quarter after, with 45 minutes remaining, I should say, they can make it there. They should be able to make it on just that tank. Because you've seen the pit stops come in at 30 minutes. Obviously, Craig Jancic stretching it out one more lap, so just over the 30 minutes, making it a little bit easier for that number 88 to make it with one stop. So there's always that too. These drivers got to be thinking, can I make the remainder of the race and what with just this last pit stop? But they have to hit that mark. And they would have had to take full fuel, in my opinion. So, I mean, obviously, we've made these predictions before. We've been wrong, way wrong, a lot. But you kind of sit here and you start thinking, and you try to put, one and one together and try to get 2. But sometimes, we get 5. I don't get it. But maybe me and Carl combining answers or something.
Maybe we're rounding up or something. I don't know.
But we try to keep people entertained and keep you thinking out there. Speaking of people out there, just obviously always a shout out to Barry and Mike, obviously Casey, for stopping by here tonight to check in on the racing and what CRN is up to tonight. It's always good to have him out there. Great person to kind of hop on board here with CRN and kind of join the family. So, everybody out there is part of the CRN Nation, whether you're a racer or you're just a fan out there. So we really do appreciate you coming out here, seeing what's going on. There's 20 people out there. If you haven't already, I haven't said it yet. It's been almost an hour. Yeah, over an hour. And I haven't asked once. But I can just this one time, I'm going to say it. I'm not going to say it anymore tonight. If you haven't already, please like, subscribe, and give me that thumbs up here for these great drivers here at CSRL, and push that algorithm up, not only for CRN, but for any of the drivers here that participate on CRN. It's well appreciated, and I thank you, along with Carl as well. So that's it for the thumbs though, and we'll run it to the end.
I'll say it again at least 1 or 2 more times before this thing is over for sure. But again, I mean, we still got plenty of time left in this race, but you see the standings right there, and I mean these drivers at the front putting down a heck of a pace. I mean, Bourgeau right now is up. He's up 16 seconds on Bryce Reiner, but you look, only the top 15 are left on the lead lap. Now, first one a lap down, Todd Torville, your what could be your champion here. As William Burrell still in the mix here, only a couple spots behind at this point. He's back there in 16th and 18th. and Todd Torville in 16th. So still a shot here if Bill Burrell can get this thing turned around here. I mean, it's a good amount of time, or I mean 36 seconds in between Todd and Bill, but you never know. You never know how these things play out. Dave Tilford has certainly righted the ship. He's up there now into 17th. But again, same thing. He is a long way behind Tyler Torville, who is up there just outside the top 5 in 6th place right now, doing a fantastic job again in the Lamborghini here tonight. So all these drivers are going to have to make at least one more pit stop. I'm not sure if Tilford can make it. If he can make it to the hour mark, then he should be good to go to the end of this race. Because again, these drivers start with a minimal, or not a minimal, but they start with less fuel, but then from there on out they can fill all the way up. So they should be able to make it roughly about an hour, maybe a little bit less here in the car. So maybe you need to make it to an hour and 5 minutes into the race just to be sure. But it's still a shot if Tilford can hang out there and make one more pit stop. Glenn Lizon, Cesar Colon Torres already in and back out, making a pit stop. Not sure if that's a little bit too early though. I mean, still quite a long ways to go. An hour and 2 minutes. I don't think they can stretch it over an hour. I mean, that's a big ask right here.
Yeah, you can see obviously a few drivers coming there on lap 39, and a lot of drivers coming in here at lap 20. We're closing in on that lap 40, 41 mark here. You can see we're actually on lap 41 right now. They will, if they can make it by, they will stretch it that one more. You can see number 6 though is right there on the back bumper of Craig Jancic. So Mason has definitely outdone himself here tonight. Tons of work and really pushing the window here for Craig Jancic. And I'm sure Craig Jancic is now looking in the window, in that mirror, saying, "Man, I thought he was done for the night." But it just shows you, just the will of Mason to kind of come back and get a good finish, even after spinning out and having that terrible start. I mean, lost a ton of time from the pole all the way back to 12th, 13th, or was it 16th, somewhere way back there, and has clawed his way back to that back bumper of the 88, and obviously trying to get around and matching Craig Jancic with his pit stop, and a little faster on the track, obviously, but Mason still has work to do. He still has an hour to go. And obviously needs to get around the 88, and hopefully, in Mason's case, the 88 has some troubles here tonight, but that is rare, as we've seen plenty of times. People continuing to come down in the pits. Trent Blaylock and Christian Ortiz Torres now down in the pits here with over the hour mark. So that's only, they were in it 30 minutes. So I don't know if they can make it, Carl. I'm just really looking forward to seeing somebody hit that hour and 15-minute mark, and maybe coming in early, from Lizon and Colon Torres. Maybe maybe a little bit of a strategy here. We'll see if anybody can make it that long, but yeah, it's going to be a tough call here, I think, for some of these drivers. Obviously, they get more fuel. I'm not quite sure. What's the percent? Do you know the percentage what they start with?
I honestly forget. I'd have to take a look here and see what they actually start with. But yeah, I mean, it's again, you're judging roughly by what we do on a race here at Indy, and you're figuring it's somewhere between 50 minutes to an hour, depending on how much you're using of fuel. And I know it's a big difference, it's a big disparity, but that can be that big of a disparity. If you're just you're a heavy fuel user, then that's what it's going to be. You're going to be coming there short. Exactly. But I mean, you look at like Craig Jancic. I'm sure he knows that he's got to make it to a certain number, and that extra lap that he got compared to everybody else on that first run is clearly going to put him in the spot where he can make it on just one more pit stop. But yeah, even Noah Bourgeot into the pits here, and that is your leader, Bryce Ryder, Craig Jancic, Mason Smith. We'll see if they come in this time by.
I'm wondering if they the reason they didn't take tires is because of the shorter pit stop here. This is just another 30 minutes that they've been out, which would mean they would come in again.
And it sounds like, I don't know if that's the pit limiter or if that's Noah kind of running out of fuel. It sounded like that thing was kind of sputtering it a little bit, but look at who decided to stay out. Craig Jancic, Mason Smith around for another lap. So we'll see how much further Mason can hold on to Craig Jancic here before the pit stops, if they both come in together, or if Craig can stretch it out for an extra lap past this. But right now, Jancic is your leader. Noah is in the pits. Looks like he's just getting finished up here in a second, and he'll be back out there to resume his lead. And there we go, down and away for the 26 as he gets back out there. Should be able to get out in front of the lap traffic here, and indeed he will. Heck of a run here for the number 26. I know he's got the Dale number 3 on the side of that Corvette, and a throwback to when Earnhardt did run in the Corvette GT. But I mean, it's been a heck of a masterclass here for Noah tonight.
Trouble still ensue here for Bay. Just losing it there, and just it seems like the Porsches are kind of having an issue. The only person having some decent luck with the Porsches is going to be Trent Blaylock here. As we'll go check to see how Trent's doing. Been kind of quiet here, and you can see that team has changed colors. They're no longer blue and black. They're now orange and black. So I can't complain. I like orange.
Exactly. Well, both of your leaders, both your championship drivers in the pits right now, Craig Jancic and Mason Smith coming in together. And again, judging by where we're at on time, about an hour and 3 minutes in, hour and 4 minutes in, I mean, maybe these are the only 2 drivers that can get to the end. This is pretty interesting, as you see there. Chris Hamilton mentioned that is 40% fuel to start the race. That's what I thought it was. I just didn't want to say it and sound dumb, even though I say other things that sound dumb anyway.
All right.
But it is now going to be a race to the finish for these drivers for sure. Noah is already going to be back in the lead, and now here comes Jancic pulling out of the pits. Mason Smith down and away. Going to be close here. Reiner is going to take back over second place, but not really by that much, as you see him heading into 1. Jancic down and away. He's got a good pit stop there, and it looks like he gained about almost a full second, 0.8 of a second on Mason Smith on the pit stop, with a 21.73 for his pit stop compared to Mason Smith's 22.58.
Yeah, I'm thinking Mason had to take a little bit more fuel, obviously, as hard as he was pushing. We did see Mason's car go up. I'm not quite sure about Jancic's. I don't know if it was up in the air or not. Yeah, so, I mean, if Jancic did not take tires, it would just be a matter of time, and Mason will probably, obviously, once he warms them up, catch right up and go around Craig. I could see that happen if Mason. I know Mason took tires. I'm not sure about Craig. I didn't see the car, but it could have just been the flag holder blocking it. I don't know. But.
I see the same thing. I didn't see the car go up. I could be wrong as well, but again, take it with a grain of salt. But either way, it's been a great race. I mean, it's again these drivers. Not only did they put on a great race here tonight, but it's the fact that we've seen some of the single car spins here and there, but really nobody being aggressive, nobody making stupid moves, nobody making dive bombs, nobody making late attempts at a pass. Everything has kind of been just singles here and there, having their issues and having their spins. But maybe I missed Tilford coming into the pits, because he's still out there right now, and he's up to 12th, but I feel like he's got to make a pit stop yet.
He was in on 25, so that's when he first.
He's just kind of off cycle a little bit.
Yeah, he's just off cycle a little bit, but like if Chris said they start off with 40%, so if they did 20 laps on 40%, on 100%, they're doing 40 plus. So.
Well, I thought I remember you saying Tilford was in on lap number 2 also.
Yeah, I thought it said 2. Maybe it was just he crossed the line. Who knows? I don't. SDK. That's why I don't blame SDK. It's a fresh download. I should have all the updates. Yeah, but it's been a great one here so far. Here it's 7:59. If I'm not mistaken, the other team should be up and running. If I'm not mistaken now. Should be.
Yeah, I believe they the pit road speed limit racing. They should be getting ready to go for their race at Michigan. And want to thank our other broadcasters over there.
Yeah.
With Jack and Alan for hopping on board and covering that for us. And I mean, honestly, they've been phenomenal for us over at the Core GT series. And not only have they been good, everybody's really enjoyed their broadcast. And they ask the right questions when they need to, if they have any kind of concerns, and it's brand new to them, but they're loving it as well. I talked to Jack and Alan last night when we were kind of going over some of the final details for tonight's race, and they figured they would like it, but they're surprised how much they do like it. And we and Jimmy have said so many times that of course we'd love to be out there racing, but we're just as fine being up here in the booth. It's almost as enjoyable and sometimes more enjoyable being up here in the booth, to be honest, and not dealing with some of the riffraff that you sometimes deal with out there on the track. But I mean, it's a completely different perspective, which again, they're seeing that as well. They're able to sit back and watch from different angles and see how passes are set up and see how different drivers take the track or what they're doing, and they're really enjoying every bit of it. And yeah, I can completely understand that.
Yeah, I kind of joke with myself, I'm like, man, if something ever happened to my wheel and my pedals, like where I couldn't drive, like I still wouldn't leave iRacing. I could still do what I'm doing as far as being here at CRN. And, and it's, if I physically got hurt or couldn't do anything, as long as I could sit and push some buttons, I can do this for a very long time. And iRacing is just continuing to get better. There's obviously, I think, is it this week or next week? There's going to be another big patch. More cars, more tracks, more updates to graphics, all kinds of things coming this way here to iRacing. They continue to improve. If you go on YouTube and you look up for when they came out, what was it, 2010 or somewhere around there? They've been around or even older. This sim's been around for quite some time and has come a long way, and obviously they know where some of their downfalls are, but I think for what it is right now and what they got a good product, and it shows with the amount of people, like it or not, and they're here for the community and to do something competitive. And I know COVID was a big hit for iRacing, brought the forefront of real life race car drivers to kind of get on here and still race for the community and just do a wonderful job here. So iRacing was able to provide that for that time to kind of fill that gap, that void, and it brought a lot of fans over, and a lot of people stayed. But you got big things going on. You got the NASCAR series and all the different cars for the ovals that a lot of our drivers here at CRN like to do. We obviously broadcast quite often. They got leagues that are bringing back cars that they don't even drive anymore out there and running leagues, so that's always cool, fun. And then you got the modern day stuff here, the GT3s and the hypercars and all that kinds of fun stuff. And every now and then you might find some. I haven't seen a Formula League with like the Williams that they have here on the service, and the Dirt Series. I know they're out there, Carl, but they seem to start and fall a lot.
Yeah, I mean it's a niche community, just like the dirt road is kind of the same thing. Like if you're usually the ones that kind of stick around are the ones that have all the really good drivers in it, and it's tough because then anybody that's just kind of picking it up, there is no silver or bronze, kind of like we have in here and in core. There's very few leagues that have that. It's kind of tough to do that on dirt because it's all short track racing. It's all very small tracks. I mean, the biggest tracks you'll go to are usually half-mile tracks. So everything is close battling. So to put more than 20 cars on a track, one is a good sized league if you can do that, but it can get a little bit crazy. It can get a little bit hairy. Can you put 40 on a track? Sure, but it's more often than not, you need to know what you're doing on dirt, whether it's dirt road or dirt oval, and it's not the easiest thing to learn. It's not, picking up the World of Outlaws, console title, and even if you crank that up, the settings up on that, it's made by iRacing, and it's tough on the higher settings on there, but it's nothing like iRacing. iRacing is as close to real life as possible, and it's not easy, and it'll test your patience for sure. Just like getting used to these GT cars and how much wheel spin they'll have out of the corners, or how much different they are braking into corners. You have to get used to it, and dirt is just a completely different animal, and some just they try once or twice and like, nope, not for me, and just quit, where they're more comfortable being on asphalt. And I get it, I understand. I wish there was a bigger following, but again, more often than not, it's short track, and Jimmy, you know what short track does. Short track just usually brings out the tension, and that's why
there's a reason when I go to broadcast, I have to check that check box that says not for children, because the commentary sometimes from the live, and not that I broadcast live, but if you say I was racing and whatever, yeah, you have to be careful. You don't know the language, and as obviously there's been times maybe we're not 100% perfect, but I think all the broadcasters here at CRN do a pretty fantastic job of keeping it clean for pretty much anybody to watch, as far as so we're not trying to offend anybody or make people mad or say something that just not I guess publicly right. Obviously if you're amongst your buddies and friends, sayings and words kind of go in and out the window because you're not really paying attention because you're hanging out with your buddies. But we do, I think, a pretty fantastic job here. Not just me and myself and you, Carl, but all the broadcasters we've had here: John Nobinger, Dave Tilford, Mark Thomas, Dylan McDonald, and I'm sure I'm missing a bunch. Down the line, we've had a bunch of people step in and really kind of help this community grow, help CR Nation become what it is. Obviously, we're going on completing our third year here very shortly. It won't be till February, so we'll have to come up with something. If we keep going on this, get that 5-year mark, and we're starting to crawl. I think if we're not, we're very close to 1,500 followers now. So. Yeah, I think so. I'd have to look at the website.
Yeah, trying to see. It looks like we're at 1.49 K right now, so really, really close to that that 1.5, which is pretty cool. I mean, compared to quote unquote real streamers out there, yeah, we're nothing. But the fact that this is a niche, kind of game, and it's a niche community that is iRacing here. And when we're broadcasting different leagues all the time, it's not the same drivers, obviously, race in and race out, and it's different leagues every time. So we have different people coming in for different races. I know we got the ones that certainly don't care what we're putting on, they're watching regardless. Obviously Barry out there, I know Mike Casey is out here for pretty much all the races, and I'm sure he's happy not only that he brought us on board to cover 191 on Sundays, but probably happy that we gave him something to do every night. He's got something to watch now every night here. And
we me and Carl have decided, at least for now, to not forego the partnership with YouTube, to alleviate and keep CRN ad-free for all the viewers out there. There is no ad interruption, and that's you don't have to pay to not have ads. That is all on me and Carl and CRN here. Just to kind of just go by the league's support to keep things running here, and to keep the fans have a non-interrupted broadcast here. So that's always fun. And all the fans out there, they get to watch something here. Where the only flaws you get is heck, me not knowing how to pronounce somebody's name. I do that all the time.
Fantastic. Love every minute of that. Well, speaking of interruptions, the nice little run that Craig Jancic has been on is about to be interrupted because Mason Smith has got those tires warmed up. He fell back there a little bit and actually even fell behind Siviani Madrigal, but not anymore. He is up here harassing Craig Jancic. You were riding on board there with him for a little bit going into turn number 5 there, and you see him kind of dip to the inside a little bit of a block move, and you see him right there diving down to the inside, trying to break that toe here from Mason Smith, trying to block the inside line. But Mason has got the tires warmed up. He needs to get this pass done. He needs to get it done quickly because he's got to get up there and get after Bryce Reiner to try and get some more points and get it up here and get a chance. The win again, unless Noah has some kind of issues here in the last 45 minutes of this race, it looks to be out of reach. I mean, 21 seconds right now is lead, almost 22 seconds over Bryce Reiner. So heck of a job there by Noah tonight. But Mason has got to do one thing first. He's got to get ahead of the multi-time champion here. And it's not going to be easy. And Craig's going to put up a fight because he knows if he lets Mason go here, Mason goes for a late move to the inside. And they're going to be side by side through the S's. Does Mason keep it in there? No. Craig slams the door. Still back and forth. Smith trying to get around, trying to utilize those new tires while they are still fresh. He's been running some of the fastest laps of the entire race. Now all over the backside here, Jancic is going to look to the inside, but he's going to fall back in line and have to follow for another lap. This has got to get done. It's got to get done quickly, but it's got to get done the right way. I mean, we said before with Mason, he's very quick, he's very fast, he knows how to get passes done, but he's not going to do it dirty. I mean, there's many times that Jimmy said, him racing against Mason. I've done plenty racing against Mason myself, and I've frustrated the ever-loving out of Mason on a lot of races, him trying to figure out a way to get around me, because I'll make my car 3-4 lanes wide, but it doesn't mean he's not going to try. He's going to try and fight, and he's going to find a way around eventually if you just make one little mistake. But he's got to force the 88 to make that mistake, and it's not easy. See Mason starting to get a little bit shaky behind him right now. Now looking to go side by side, but he can't go side by side here through the little chicane. Just stick in line, maybe have one more shot at the end of the straightaway.
Yeah, he's gonna probably make a deep dive here, and Craig Jancic really putting the moves on it, and Mason's just gonna get him
outside.
Yeah, he's gonna get him uncomfortable here, and that's this is where the last time that Mason attacked down to the inside, but now Craig Jancic has his hands full. You don't get any closer than 6 feet between the rear bumper and the front bumper of another car at about 120 miles an hour here. I'll go ahead and bring up the I think to say I show the dashboard up here. So they're down here in the 80 miles an hour through these corners here, but definitely side by side here coming down. Mason almost had that inside there. Oh my goodness, Craig's got to be sweating just a little bit.
Yeah, as much as Mason is, he's going to do it cleanly. Craig is starting to get the elbows out here a little bit. There's been a couple times where Mason looked to have a bit of an edge, and Jancic slammed the door on him. And here again, trying to force him into an issue here. That was right when it happened, so I didn't see what happened, but I know it was close.
Yeah, I mean, Mason went left and went right, and then Jancic come back to the left to really block it off. So really got the elbows out there for the 88, really making Mason work hard. And you gotta be careful. I mean, you're allowed to choose your line, but you gotta be careful not to take it away. So like right there where Jancic actually seen Mason go to the right, he went to the right. Now if Mason went left, Jancic going left, that's actually an illegal move. Not that iRacing would throw the flag. It's just it's in the rule book, so you can't do like a double block. So it's really, Jancic can pick his line, but he can't make a double move, where Mason has basically kind of free realm to kind of try to get around that 88. But it's only a one move type of thing, and that's what he's trying to key on, and you just got to he's really got to self-defend. I mean, obviously he's defending. There's nothing here. I mean, it's enough. This is this could last for another 40 minutes, Carl.
Yeah, but I feel like, and I know as much as Craig does, if Mason gets by, I don't think Jancic has anything to get back past him unless Mason makes a mistake. Mason's got the fresh tires. If he can get the pass done, late move into one to the inside, but again, just not enough drive through the inside of the corner.
Well, it's just a constant keep that 88 on his toes.
And that's what he's doing right now. But Jancic not making a mistake. That Mustang is stable, and that is what Jancic is enjoying right now. It is very stable. If he's got to get outside, he's got to get inside. He's got to take an opposite line. It's being very stable for him right now. He's able to hold off Mason, and what this is doing, it's giving Reiner a chance to step away as well. Remember that lead in between Jancic and Reiner was about 4.5 seconds. It's now up to 6.6 seconds. So this thing is starting to stretch out right now between second and third. And again, Mason, as much as Craig has gotten his elbows out here a little bit, I think Mason's got to get the elbows out here a little bit too. He's got to get this pass done very, very soon.
Yeah, I mean, right now, this is, obviously this might be why Jancic is putting the elbows out. He knows that if Mason goes around, he's just going to track down his teammate. And this here is biding his teammate some time. And obviously, you're fighting for position. So there's nothing wrong with this. This is clean, hard racing between two great drivers out there, just kind of trying to throw it down there. Like I said, there's plenty of racing. You see Jancic really looking forward. There's the move by Mason on the outside. Sending it, going to get down there. It's going to push that 88 a little bit, but Mason has to cut in early so they don't get together. Again, great control of the 6 by Mason, pushing that car hard and really with the elbows out from the 88, trying to make things interesting here, trying to give Jancic the best chance possible to walk away with the champion here. This one wrong move, obviously with the elbows, when do you let him go, Carl? You got a championship on the line. Is one position really going to be what decides?
Well, and they're finally the move by Mason, and they end up getting together. I don't think he's still going to get the pass done. But I was just about to say, I know Mason is a clean driver, but now all of a sudden, you got Tyler Torville coming up here into the mix. And, Mason's been pushed out a couple times here. He's had a nose alongside of Jancic, and Jancic has run him wide enough that Mason's had to back out. At what point does Mason decide, you know what, my nose is here, my nose is staying here. You want to come across, your back end's going to go across the front of my nose, and that's it. And I'm not saying Craig is doing anything wrong. He is defending aggressively.
Right.
Is what I will say. He is driving aggressively right now, and he's driving like he's got nothing to lose, and he does. He does have a little bit to lose here, and especially if he gets spun out here trying to battle Mason. He's given now Bryce Reiner an 8.5 second gap, so it's a big gap to second place right now. But while we got all this going on, one driver that is no longer out there and decided to call this thing quits and probably has a few things to say about Indianapolis is the man we'll bring in here right now, and that is Jim Dutton. Jim, you called it an early night here tonight, but you get a chance to come up here and talk to us. So I guess maybe whether it was planned or not, maybe you just wanted to come up and just have a chat with us. You know what? I don't feel like racing anymore. Let's just go up and chat with Carl and Jimmy. But either way, we have you up here in the booth. How was it out there tonight? Do we dare ask you that question?
It was fine. I just hate the Mustang. I'm done with it. I'm looking forward to next season.
I'm thinking something else.
It's just I don't know. It's a bit of a handful, and the rear kind of steps out on you a bit, and it did on me twice in 2 laps, and I got frustrated and said, "Hey, you know what? Let's talk to the guys in the broadcast booth and see how they're doing, see how the night's going." So, hi.
Yeah, well, we didn't get a chance to talk to you before the race, but as a league owner, as admins, everything like that for the league here, it may not have played out the way you wanted with the chasers here in each of the point standings, not exactly having a good start to the race, all having their own little issues. But again, as a league owner, you got to love that all 3 divisions coming down to the last night of the season.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And the fact that we had over 30 or 20 cars turn out for a 2-hour event on a weeknight is huge too. So yeah, and nothing to complain about at all. I'm happy and grateful for every single person that came out.
Except the Mustang.
Sorry, what's that?
I said except the Mustang.
Yeah, except the Mustang. Yes. Yeah.
Oh, we got pit stops, Carl.
Yep, Glenn Lazan in the pits. As I think we're going to see some more cars that are going to have to come in before this thing is over. Still got about 30 minutes left in this race, but we got the season ender here tonight. It's been what I would consider another fantastic season, another successful season for you guys. I know you wanted that 40 number. I know you got really close a couple times, but it's still got to feel like this whole season's been a win for you guys.
Well, considering it's summer too, right? I think last summer we were lucky to get 30 cars, and we were getting 30 most of the races. I don't have the exact figures in front of me, but probably seven out of the 11 races anyway, we had over 30 cars. So nothing to complain about at all. And everybody seems really engaged. We just put out a survey today, and everybody's rating the league either 4 or 5 out of 5, which is amazing. It's so nice to see, and hopefully we can bring that same energy next season and get more people out and finally hit that 40.
Absolutely, and certainly I wish you luck on that. I know there's been such good praise from the league, during the season, but even after the season and getting more drivers in. Every season you guys are getting really good word of mouth, even through the season. I mean, you guys, get 2, 3, 4 races into the season. All of a sudden, hey, we got another driver that just joined. Hey, we got 2 more, and it's great to see, especially mid-season, more drivers jumping on board and coming in and liking the product that you guys are putting on. Speaking of that, next season, certainly we got to wrap up this season first, and still got to figure out who's going to be the champion. Could possibly be the first time, unless I'm mistaken, that we have a father and son duo winning their own championships this season. So I guess talk to me about that. Talk to me about the Torvilles possibly getting this done here for the gold and the silver, and being the first father-son duo to do that.
That's pretty incredible. I didn't even know that was in the cards. Quite honestly, I knew that Tyler was doing pretty well in gold, but I didn't know that Todd was that high in silver. You miss certain things when you're focused on stuff, but good for them, and they brought out a ton of guys through their league, Ace Motorsports. So it's nice to see having them represented so well. So thanks very much to the Torvilles, and congratulations. Hopefully I'm not jinxing anything, but
Early congratulations, yes.
Tyler's just watching this massive battle between the 6 and the 88 right now. First, can't get any better seats than what he's got right now.
Yeah.
And maybe going to get up in the middle of this battle here before this lap is over, as he's now to the inside of Mason Smith battling. And it looks like he's going to do a very, very, very gentlemanly thing. He's going to back out of it there and give the position to Mason. So just goes to show the camaraderie amongst the drivers out here. But we'll talk to you now about next season. I know you guys usually take a couple weeks off and kind of gear up for the next season. I know some of the drivers, some of them like the time off. Some are already itching to get back out there as soon as the season's over. But what do we got in store for what's going to be season number 14 for you guys?
So we're not sure what the schedule is going to be yet. Just Iracing hasn't released their schedule. It's either going to be the GT3 or the IMSA schedule again. We are revamping the points and the way that we do classing. It's going to be closer to what your core league does. Not going to be the exact same, of course, but I talked with Dave Tilford about what you guys do, and there are a lot of great ideas there. Hats off to you guys. You really button things down, and I don't want to become core junior either, but
we love you. So it's all good.
But if we can take some of your ideas and kind of put our own spin on it, I don't think that's a bad thing. And just build something that's fair for everybody. If somebody's, turns out to be really good, we want to be able to bump them to the next class without disrupting the points per se. And we don't have a mechanism by which to do that right now, and you guys do. So, I would like to do something like what you guys do there. But yeah, that's that's pretty much about it. The racing format will stay the same. I mean, I don't think it's broken at all. I think people seem to really like it, and the racing out there has been just top notch. No matter how quick you are, you have somebody to race, which is what we want.
Yeah, that's, I think, what makes it fun. I know for us over there, with the system with multiple classes, it's really, it gets everyone still engaged, and it's why we're turning out the numbers that we turn out, because you got guys right now that in our Xfinities, or actually in our GT series, 180 points back of the lead. So if you just have one straight point system, they got no shot whatsoever. But as it stands, 180 points back, they're actually leading their division. So it's so nice to have, and I know the drivers really love every minute of it. I know some of them, they don't like when they get bumped up to the next class, because they know that they got to pick up their game a little bit, but it is what it is. You got to figure it out. But yeah, I mean, I think what we're doing over there works. I mean, it's certainly, it's not copyrighted, and we don't care if other leagues want to adopt it, because I think what we have really works, and it's definitely a testament to to all the admins over there in core, especially with Dave Tilford out there running with you guys tonight, and getting everything together, because it is a lot on the back end that takes part, and there's a lot of different things working. But I mean, you already got a good core group of guys here, and it's already working out for you guys. So if you can take that and sprinkle a little sugar on it with updating it some more, like you're talking about, I don't see anything but going up for you guys.
Absolutely, I agree. I think it's going to be. I think season 14 will be our biggest season for sure.
Jimmy, what do you got here for Jim?
It's just always a pleasure, Jim, to continue to have a partnership here with CSRL. Enjoy the racing as always. The people are fantastic. The racing is great. It's just obviously, I tell Jancic all the time. It's just to kind of see the type of racing, week in and week out between all the drivers here at CSRL is just a pleasure. So, it's not a cringe show like or a sigh like, oh, I gotta go broadcast for this league. It's a pleasure. We want to be here, and we continue to look forward to each and every week that you guys get along here. But does look like Craig Jancic is coming in, and Mason Smith is going to take the number 6 out for one more lap.
Yeah, so very interesting, and I did want to ask you that, Jim. Is there a different fuel strategy for you guys here tonight? I know typically you have 40% fuel to start, and then they can fill up to 100% after that. Is that the same here tonight, or is it something different?
No, it's 50%. So it should work out. If you fuel save, you can make it on 3 pit stops, but it's hard.
Well, certainly seeing some different strategies already being played here tonight. But I mean, all in all, just want to thank you guys. Same thing with what Jimmy said. I mean, it's been a pleasure being on board with you guys for several seasons here, and looking forward to what you guys got in the future. But I mean, like you say, you don't have the schedule yet, but it's not broke what you guys are doing. So there's no need to to do any kind of major fixing. And I think you guys have the right idea. Kind of just what we do with the GT series, kind of keep it right along an iRacing series, so that way these drivers have a day or two to get out there and race some officials if they want to, and kind of get some practice, because there's so many times where leagues will throw up 1, 2, 3 practices during a week, and 1 or 2 drivers show up. And it gets frustrating as an admin or a league owner that's putting those practices out there. Well, here, I know you guys do usually put out at least 1 practice a week, regardless of who shows up. But the drivers, if they want more, they can get out there and get more. They can get some official runs out there as well, and see how they stack up, and maybe see what the faster cars are for the season. Now, speaking of cars, it doesn't seem like what you guys have is broke. But any changes to the 2 cars and done class?
No, so that is going to remain the same. We had a vote early on in the season, and there was enough interest in just keeping it the way it is that we're going to do that. We like to we'd like to consider ourselves a casual league, so we want people to just have enough time to practice 1 or 2 cars and be done with it, and then be ready for when the green flag drops. So.
All right, one more question in regards to the races itself. Any ideas on the weather system? It seems like you guys have been pretty consistent going with maybe 1, maybe 2 rain races a season, and kind of let the chips fall where they are for the rest of them. Kind of same deal.
Sorry, I got cut you all off. Mason Smith has made the overcut and around Craig Jancic, and has now moved into P number 3. So Jancic lost time on that pit stop. Outstanding pit stop by the 6. Moves Mason Smith into P number 3. Finally getting that position, but is it enough time? 23 minutes still remaining here. And Noah is just obviously in a class of his own here tonight, out to a 28-second lead over Bryce Reiner. And now Mason Smith. Craig Jancic sits in P number 4. Tyler Torville sitting in 5th. Then Savani's back in 6th. Herb Pineda's in 7th. Dave Tilford has worked his way up to 8th currently, with maybe 1 more pit stop to go. Trent Bruley-Locke is in 9th, and Cesar Clone Torres sitting in for your top 10.
Well, one thing, Jim, before you answer my weather question, to note with those pit stops, Bryce Reiner, not a good pit stop at all. He ended up losing about 3 seconds to Mason Smith on that. It was about an 8-9 second lead in between 2nd and 3rd. It's down to 3.5. This is not over yet for Mason Smith. If he can put in some heaters, he can still catch Reiner and have a chance at this thing. So now, finally, after all that fun, and certainly the fun to come yet for the end of this race, Jim, what do you got for weather for us for next season?
It's going to be more of the same. So either 1 or 2 races with a fair chance of rain. Hopefully no monsoons, but we'll see. Iracing has the cars are really tricky in the rain, and there are a few people in the league that love it, but there are certainly a few that really don't as well. So just I think it's better to just have 8 be dry and then 2 maybe be wet type deal.
Yeah, it's as fun as it is, and I know everybody wanted rain, but it's not easy, and it's difficult, and especially when you're trying to put on a league race for a fun race, sure, or for endurance race where maybe 6 of those 24 hours are under rain. Okay, you can figure it out and deal with it, but to run a full points league race in the rain, it can get a little sketchy, it can get a little hairy, but either way, like I said, I mean, what you guys are doing, I don't think it's broke at all, and I think the only thing Jimmy would maybe request is just to make sure it's not too foggy out there.
I hate fog.
He's not a big fog fan.
It makes me mad. I can't see your cars.
We're actively trying to set up the session so there's no fog. So yeah, we've learned our lesson.
They are currently setting up fans around the track right now, Jimmy, to ensure the fog will
blow it away. Bring out the sun, something. No, it's just I don't know why they do that. It makes it very difficult. Well, I mean, I'm sure they don't care. I mean, it's not like, maybe fog affects the track a little bit, but I don't know. It's just more of I guess when you're a viewer, you're trying to, the cameras don't do, unless there's a setting. If there's a camera guy out there that knows iRacing camera, please teach me the ways.
Bring those cameras just a little bit lower on every one of them.
Yeah, right.
So, Jim, I know you certainly don't do this alone here, and it takes just like it takes an army to raise kids. Well, you got 40, 50 kids here in CSRL that trying to look after week in and week out, and I know it takes a family to do that. So, I want to give you some time before you get out of here to give any thanks to the admins, all the people behind the scenes here, the sponsors, everything like that for season number 13.
All right, so I'm just going to generalize because I'm going to forget people and feel bad about it after. Absolutely, every single one of the admins. Thank you for the time that you put into this. You're a great help. You guys for putting on the broadcast and helping usher us through each season. Safe to say that if you guys are up for it, we are going to renew with you for sure. All of our sponsors, it helps keep this league afloat. It's great, and all of the viewers, and last but not least, the racers. Everybody that comes out makes Wednesday night a fun night for all of us to be together and do something. And it definitely is a team effort. So thank you, everybody.
I mean, we finally get to see a season go down to the end, and Jancic having to maybe sweat a little bit. So we're not going to step away now. I mean, it's finally starting to get good here in CSRL. We ain't going anywhere now. But it's like me and Jimmy both said. It's been a pleasure covering you guys. It's not not tooting your horn, tooting our horns. It's been fun on both sides here all the way through, and there's a reason we've been partners with you guys for several years. It's been fun. I mean, we're not getting stale up here in the booth. At least I don't think we are. I guess that the fans out there will tell us if and when we are. But no, it's been great, and it's nice that every once in a while we'll get to see a new track on the schedule that Iracing throws out there, and throws a little bit of a curveball to all the drivers out there. Obviously, we seen it this season with the bend coming into play, and certainly got a little fun and funky out there. But either way, it's been a blast for this season. Jimmy, you have any final words here for Jim?
I just look forward to all the future races, and I don't see ourselves taking too much of a break anytime soon. So I'm sure we'll definitely give you a heads up in that case. But we're good to go here for the following season, and looking forward to stand by and see what you bring us.
Sounds good. Might throw on a fun race next week and invite you guys out if you want.
Absolutely. Yeah, we're available. We'll definitely be out there. But let's get to a little other subject before we let you go here. And it's one thing that is kind of fun when it comes to this, because at the end of the day, in the leagues here, you want to have a good enough atmosphere that you feel like you're out here, you're just racing with friends. I mean, you got guys from literally all over the world, racing in these events, and it's not like you're getting together at the local sandlot and playing a pickup game. I mean, this is it's international racing, for some of these leagues, especially with you guys right here at CSRL. So the chances you get, and I've had a few chances to meet some of the drivers in core, on different various vacations. You got something coming up, obviously, helps out with the Sim Racing Expo, being close to some of your drivers, and you guys get to have a little meet and greet coming up here.
Yeah, I'm very excited about that. Dave Tilford from your camps going, plus a whole host of guys from CSRL, William Burrell, Jim Herrick he has a booth there, which is exciting. I think there are probably about 10 or so drivers that are going to be there, and actually Alex Zard is competing in a competition there, which is really, really cool. But yeah, so it's about a 7-hour drive for me.
He's not good enough. That's why he's not here tonight. He's not good enough to race with you guys.
It's about a 7-hour drive, and I'm just going up for a day, but it's going to be just a great time, I think. And I've never been to Chicago before either, so that'll be exciting, seeing probably just the hotel, quite honestly, but it'll be fun either way. Just meeting some people
much up there. I've only been there a little bit, but you don't miss much. There's some good stuff, so I hope you enjoy yourself for sure. And I definitely get if you, I don't know what drivers you've actually met in person, but it's always fun to meet people you hang out with weekly at least, and put a name to a face.
So I've only ever met one driver in person, and he is no longer in the league. So it'll be totally different. It's nice to be able to put faces to names and shake people's hands and everything like that. Before this league, I had never met anybody else who had a sim rig at all. So it's I'm kind of isolated where I am.
Ideally, what you got to do, I don't know if you can, if you can do it at the Sim Expo, or if there's a place nearby. You got to get out there and you got to compete side by side. I know that was one thing that was pretty fun. The last time vacation, I was able to got out there and met one of the drivers, and I believe he may have run one or two races with you guys over here, Beavish Vassam, and I know Chris out there, and he'll get a kick out of this if you guys know the story. But I did get a chance to go to go-kart track, Andretti go-kart track, and spend some time and hang out with a B, and then I got on the track with them, and it's funny and it's fun because you're so used to seeing these guys virtually, and then getting out there and competing with them side by side. We had an absolute blast, and it's certainly fun. But I mean, even if you don't, you get to, like Jimmy said, you get to put a face to a name, and you get to kind of broaden that camaraderie that you already have with a lot of these guys. And even if they've just been in the league for one season, and now you're meeting them, it's just cool, and it shows that as big as this thing is and as international as it is, it's still kind of close to home, and it's still it's definitely close to the heart for a lot of these drivers, and I know for you too as well. So definitely enjoy yourself out there. I wish it wasn't so far for me, and I know Jimmy feels the same way. Or we'd be, I'm sure, attending that thing as well. Maybe next time we'll have our own CRN booth and then throw down out there as well. But either way, enjoy yourself. Thank you again for season 13. Definitely looking forward to season 14. But we'll let you go get out of here and enjoy the end of season 13 and watch these races come down to an end, because I don't think we're too far from another battle here for second place overall between Reiner and Smith.
Oh no, it's warming up now as the gap has shrank to 0.23, and Mason Smith looking to take down yet another Ford here, and only the elusive 26 of Noah that is driven away to a 31-second lead.
Yeah, I mean, it's just amazing what Noah's been doing here tonight, and nothing wrong. He hasn't put a foot wrong this entire night here tonight, and he's doing it exactly what I'm sure he wanted to do from the beginning, and getting this thing done. But we're certainly far from over here as we're getting towards the end of this thing. It is going to be close here between Reiner and Smith, as you see already looking for a move here. As again, this is how I promise you, this is Reiner and Smith now, as Reiner blinking out here as he gets close to Mason. The cars look similar, and the battle is going to look probably about the same. It's going to be pretty tough here for Mason to get around Reiner. He doesn't want to give up second. He's had second this entire night, but Mason needs it, wants it, trying to get back up there and have a sliver of a chance to get this points title here for this season. But he's going to have a battle on his hands, and the clock is ticking. We're down to about 10 minutes left in this race.
You know what? I don't know the points draw out, but could you imagine if the fate of Gen 6 championship is on the ability of his teammate to keep Mason Smith behind him?
Well, I mean, it's all on Bryce if that's the case, because certainly Craig gave Bryce a bit of a buffer. I mean, it was about 3.5 seconds when Mason and Craig started battling, and then by the time they were done battling, when Jansen came into the pits, it was about 8.5 second lead. So he gave him a plenty big enough buffer. But again, a slow pit stop from Reiner, and now a hard charging Mason Smith has gotten this thing back to a very, very close battle. And we'll get to talk to quite a few drivers here at the end of the night, because they're all certainly well deserved. And definitely, again, a shout out to Tyler Torville doing a fantastic job. Now in the top 5, as it looks like Sivianik Madrigal had some issues. He's fallen back to 8th place. So Tyler Torville up into 5th place. Unfortunately for Dave Tilford, he's still back there in 15th. So chance of the title going to be out of the cards for the 12. And then Todd Torville is back there in 16th. Still got 2 cars in between him and William Burrell, and quite a bit of distance on the track. As right now it looks like Burrell is About a half a minute behind Todd Torville. So a championship run here for both the Torvilles, trying to get it done. But you wonder if Mason, as it looks like they're side by side right now, heading into turn number 1, if Mason gets this pass done, I'm with Jimmy. I'm not sure how the points lay out. I'm not sure how many points they're getting. I have to see if I can find it out, double check. But the pace, or the pace for Mason Smith has gotten him around Bryce Reiner now. Is there any team communications for Reiner to drop back?
I don't know if it's that close. I don't think they play kind of like that. I know they work together, but nice crossover. Can he get it in there?
Whoosh. Just breaking in time, or that could have been the back bumper of Mason.
Bryce is so good at driving in very deep into the corners, and he showed that many times last season for sure. Not being as successful this year with his race finishes, but always had an edge on even Jancic on being able to drive that car very, very deep in the corner. So, it's something, obviously, different driving style there from Reiner to Jancic. I mean, they're both fast, but there's obviously some similarities, but Reiner was always seemed to have that small edge of being able to have to really drive into a corner. And as far as would get into the corner, being able to kind of keep that good speed going through there. Here, see another deep dive here on that back bumper, and it's got to be close there. And basically, Mason's got to get enough space there and a run, and it's hard. And obviously, he's got to defend for the next 8 minutes. But this is Jancic's still falling back, and right now is going to have his hands full from Tyler Torville. And Tyler Torville's got basically got the person that's chasing him in the points in front of him. So I know he's not really too worried about what's going on now, because well, there's my competitor, he's in front of me, and I would just lap him. So but Dave runs a clean race. Dave's going to keep going, and if he thought he was in the way of holding up Tyler, I think he'd let him go here, this late in the race. But we only got about 7 minutes left as this thing is starting to wind down. They've gotten in 79 laps here. Obviously, with about 7 minutes to go, they're probably going to get in another 6, maybe 7 more laps here remaining. Obviously, we keep talking about flashing over here to Noah and just him hopping the curb. I think I click on him every time he's going over that curb. But to just walking away here tonight, really has his track figured out. Really being able to put the power down with that Corvette here tonight, and stretching out to a 34-second lead now over Mason Smith, that obviously had the pole here tonight, and to only be down 1 position from the start after that early trouble, that spin. And you can only think of where Mason might be. I mean, he had to drive back from deeper in the midfield to have this comeback to get to this position, to even have an opportunity to maybe squeak, make this championship very close. That's for sure. But yeah, Craig Jancic, I think, is pretty safe back there where he's at. Like I said, I don't know the whole layout exactly.
Well,
with the
let me give you that layout, Jimmy. Let me give you that layout from what I'm getting and what I'm understanding now. This is going off the point structure from season 12, and I don't believe they've changed this from season 12. But one thing we forgot about is they get bonus points for qualifying, and those bonus points, that poll here tonight, may give Mason the championship by 1 point, because as it stands, it is 2 points. It's a 2 point difference between the positions, and it is right now 2 positions in between Mason Smith and Craig Jancic. But it's double points tonight, so instead of 4, that is 8. It was a 10-point deficit between Mason Smith and Craig Jancic. Throw in those 3 points for the poll here tonight for Mason Smith. That's 11.
Oh my goodness. Well, folks, we might be stirring the pot here really tonight within points battle, but 5 or 4 minutes remaining as the clock is ticking down. Mason has got by Bryce and has now started to stretch out just a little bit here as Mason is starting to come up on traffic. So he's got to keep his head on a swivel. Got to make these last few laps count. Can't let hopefully these obviously these drivers, it's the faster car's responsibility to get around. But usually when a slower car gets that blue flag, they will help facilitate that pass here, and you can see that happening right there by the 911 of Todd Torville. So doing the gentleman thing here, sportsman thing, let these drive second and third place race it out here. Yeah, it's it's just been great racing here this whole time, and like I said, Craig did whatever he could to keep Mason Smith behind him, and Mason was able to get past him by a pit stop. We talked about it all season. We've talked about it league after league after league. Just episode after episode here at CRN about how important pit stops are. If this comes down to a pass in the pits, Mason Smith over Craig Jancic, and then Mason to kind of work his way by and finally get by Bryce, that didn't have a good pit stop, is huge.
Yeah, and it's the not giving up factor as well. I mean, Mason could have, very well just thrown his hands up and say, I had the pole, I screwed it up. Not only did I lose the lead on the opening lap, but I fell all the way back outside the top 10. My championship hopes are done. He put his head down, and maybe, what happens to me sometimes, you get a little pissed off, you start driving a little bit better. So maybe that's what he needed. Maybe he needed that little shot in the dark, and instead of smelling that pole position here tonight, he needed a little wake-up call, and I'll be damned if he didn't get it with that spin and that comeback, because he put his head down. He turned into fast laps. Now again, this is all hypothetical. This is we're seeing from the back end. It's not official. We don't know 100% for sure if that's what the case is, but I'll tell you what, if Tyler Torville is able to get around Craig Jancic here, regardless of what we're figuring out here, that's not going to help. I mean,
Tyler looking down to the inside, coming down into turn number 1. He's got the advantage. This is not looking good for Craig Jancic, and I'm sure Tyler's all about obviously getting that position and, to kind of have things kind of go by. He lets the move happen, and maybe not aware, obviously probably like, that's just a gold driver, but that's another couple points. It's really kind of amazing after so many great races by the 88. You don't want to see obviously something fall to the wayside here, but it's just Craig's just a league of his own when it comes to personality, race car driver, on the track, admin, just kind of always giving props to everybody out there, and he's humble, when somebody finally gets to that race on him, and he knows that he'll have to do better next time, or that one race that maybe he dropped, maybe not so much tonight, maybe, but that one bad race, down in the season that he knows that he can't have, because the competition is that tight here at CSRL, and that's why. Go ahead.
I was going to say, this is a shot in the arm for Tyler Torville as well, because more likely than not, he's going to be in the same class as Craig Jancic next season. He's really turned it up this season. He's really done fantastic, and he's driven himself to a spot where he should be up there in the platinum or whatever division it is. That's going to be the tops for next season. But we should be on the final lap here tonight. Noah Bourgeau has just put a class on here tonight. He has driven away from everybody. He has lapped a lot of the field. Only 5 cars, the top 5 on the lead lap, as he's going to bring this number 26 around the final corners and get the checker flag in a dominating effort here tonight. He's got the throwback Earnhardt paint scheme on there with the yellow Corvettes in the number 3. And he is going to get the win here tonight. Fantastic drive, and not by a little, by over a half a minute here tonight. 35 seconds separating him from second place, Mason Smith, who very well could be having a championship drive here tonight. By our accounts, it looks like it would go to Mason Smith, and at least with the pass there from Torville, maybe it won't come down to the points there for the pole here tonight. But Mason Smith, a heck of a drive back here to finish up in second after the early incident. Bryce Reiner, I know he fought hard there at the end, almost got himself a second place, but a great effort from Reiner and a great finish to the season. Tyler Torville, gotta say the same thing. He fought hard here at the end. He had a fantastic drive, gets himself not only a top 5, but beats the defending champion, Craig Jancic, who's going to finish back there in 5th place. Herbert Pineda going to bring it home already in 6th place. Siviani Madrigal, Christian Ortiz Torres, Sierra, and Pisano rounding out your top 10 here tonight. But our other championship winning drivers, the father-son duo, have Tyler Torville again coming home in 4th. Todd Torville finishing in 16th, 1 spot ahead of William Burrell, and that should be enough to get him the championship as well, and maybe do a little celebrating already.
Yeah, I mean, good finisher by the Torvilles, and obviously, just one last mention here. Our biggest mover of the race was the 979 of Javi Sierra, so just a good run there for Javi. Finishing in 9th, up 15 spots. So to kind of start in the back and work your way through the field is no easy feat. As you've seen some drivers have a difficult night. But looking at the numbers, Carl, there wasn't many people that really had like a horrible finish after their start. A lot of drivers finishing right around the same area. Obviously, we've seen Jim call it quits as he cussed the horse out here tonight. But and the other one taking a big licking was Dave Tilford, down 7 spots from his start. And it's kind of not showing what Dave was made of here this whole season, as it's been real close there with Tyler Torville. So for that run for that championship. So yeah, it's just been a great season so far. Hats off to Noah. I don't know if you can get any faster. I mean, the times here, right up there along with some of the top split guys that I was watching the beginning part of this week. Mason Smith, one heck of a drive coming back after the huge mistake, and I thought it was pretty much championship ending. But by math and rules from last season, we're thinking maybe there's a good possibility that Craig might have found his match this season. But Tyler Torville, obviously with that 4th place finish, and obviously Craig, just always hats off to the 88. Can't ask for a better driver and sportsman out there here at CSRL. So looking forward to seeing who's ready to come and talk to us, Carl, as we have done a full 2 hours here at CRN, and looking forward to seeing how the drivers did out there on the track.
Well, it's kind of funny looking back at the season, and Mason Smith certainly had a good start to the season and was going neck and neck with Jancic, and certainly Hamilton right there with them. But it seemed like in the second half of the season, Mason just it was kind of off a little bit, and it seemed like maybe it was Chris Hamilton that was going to take the fight to Craig Jancic for the title. But at the end of the day, Mason Smith came in here tonight still in the realm of possibility to get it done here, only 10 points behind Craig Jancic, and he did what he had to do. It certainly was not the prettiest race, if you want to consider it that, for Mason. Put it on the pole, spun it, went back to outside the top 10, and he fought back. And as Chris said in the chat there, and he says all the time, championships are won on your bad races, and maybe last race was one of the bad races for Mason Smith. It certainly wasn't here tonight. So Jimmy, why don't you give us our final rundown of tonight's finishing order, and then we'll get some well-deserved interviews in here.
Yeah, rundown of tonight's that's qualifying results. Let's go with the race results. Noah finishing out here tonight as the winner in the number 26, like we said. Mason Smith with a comeback in 2nd. Bryce Reiner in 3rd. Tyler Torville finishes in 4th, top runner for your gold division. Craig Jancic in 5th. Herbert Pineda is in 6th. Savani finishes in 7th. And then Christian Torres finishing in 8th. Javi Sierra, I'm not sure what division he's going in. My overlays are out of date. Frank Pisano finishing in 10th. So Javi in the platinum finished in 9th. This button. Your layout's a little different than mine. Trent Blaylock is in 11th, and then Kyle Cobbler in 12th. Dave Tilford does come back and finish in 12th. And then Cesar Colon Torres finishing in 14th, and Glenn Lazan in 15th. Todd Torville, top silver driver here tonight, finishing in 16th with William Burrell in 17th. Bay back there in 18th, again, newer driver. Not quite sure what division they're in. And then Jay Little is in 19th and Stefan Price in 20th. And then back for the rest of the field, Paul Bailey, Devin Young, Ian Wilson, Jim Dutton, and Leo Gauch back there, and P25. So just to give a hats off to all 25 drivers. 2 hours in the race car, in the sim, is no easy feat at times. It's obviously like a little over 2 stints in an endurance race. And it's definitely a ton of fun if you haven't done it and thought about it. Having a season finale as a 2 hour here for a GT series just seems to line up and be perfect.
Yeah, absolutely does. And it was once again a blast, and a great job by all the drivers out here as well. I mean, very little mistakes that we've at least seen. We've gone back and tried to look at some of them, but for the most part, just kind of single car incidents. Certainly very racy for a lot of the positions, and got really fun, especially obviously the battles that we've seen towards the front of the field, but just clean battles that we've seen pretty much the entire race, and that's what we see every season here. So if you're looking for a GT series to get into, certainly check out CSRL here and get in touch with Jim Dutton and all the admins here, because they put on a fantastic show for sure. But let's go ahead and get some of our drivers in here for their interviews. I think what we'll do is we'll kind of switch it up here a little bit and start going through. We'll start with our winner of the gold division, and the man that finished up inside at the top 5 here tonight, Tyler Torville. Tyler, I mean, it's got to feel like a bit of a shot in the arm here, not only top 5 here for the 2 hour season finale, not only winning the gold division, but you're able to make the pass on Craig Jancic there towards the end of the race, whether he was saving or not, or whether he was just worn out from battling Mason Smith, which the battle that you got to watch firsthand right behind him for quite some time. But it's got to feel like a hell of a finish to the season.
Yeah, I feel good. Not a fan of Indy, so I wasn't too thrilled that this was the finale race, but it worked out, and that was fun.
What do you attribute this entire season to? Because I mean, we've seen you have some speed here and there, throughout your career here in CSRL, but it seems like again, this season, we talked to you before about it, you find another gear, if you will, and is it working with your guys over there with Ace Motorsports? Is it the Lamborghini? Is it just time in the sim that you're finally everything's starting to click and you're starting to figure out that speed?
I mean, I've been running the Lambo. Excuse me, I've been running the Lambo for a while. I love the car, but it's just something clicked at one point. I don't know what it was. But something clicked, and I just started finding speed here and there, and just practicing, and I don't know. I really can't tell you what the secret is here. I mean, certainly I'm not the fastest guy out here. That's why it's a secret. But you look at previous seasons, and there's definitely an improvement there, and I like what I've done to get here, but I don't know how I got here.
Well, you'll certainly have a little bit of time in the off season to try and figure it out, but maybe sometimes not knowing is the better thing, because maybe if you find out, you're like, okay, well, I got to keep doing that, and then all of a sudden you start making mistakes. So either way, savor this one. I mean, not just the championship drive for the season here, as it wasn't easy. I mean, you and Tilford came down to the last race here, and he didn't exactly make it easy on you, at least with the qualifying up there towards the front of the pack. I mean, it was going to be a battle all the way to the end for you guys.
Yeah, after last week's race, I was sitting at the computer doing math, like, all right, if he finishes in this place on the finale, I got to finish in this place or better. I was trying to do all the math and figuring out where I needed to finish to guarantee the overall gold win, but
I know it's fantasy football season at this point, and all the draft boards, the mock-ups. Do you have mock-ups for how many different scenarios that you needed to win this championship?
I did 3 scenarios.
There you go. Well, either way, the scenario worked out for you here tonight. You get yourself a great finish up here top 4 to finish out the season. You beat the defending champion and Craig Jancic, and you get yourself a championship as well. So congrats on all your success this season. Hopefully you carry it into season 14. But before we let you go and get out of here for one last time, who do you want to give a shout out to or thanks to?
Shout out to my wife for putting up with me and letting me do this every Wednesday. My daughter, who is sleeping and never gets to watch my races because she's 4 and has to go to bed early. Shout out to you guys for putting on the show every week. Everyone here at CSRL, it's a blast here racing every week. All the guys at CSRL, and of course, shout out to my dad who, won silver. I assume you guys are about to talk to him, but winning silver tonight and winning silver for the season, if I recall correctly. So, congrats to him.
Yeah, absolutely, and definitely the first father-son duo to knock out championships in the same series. It's certainly for CSRL and definitely for CRN as well. So, congrats to the entire Torville family. As you got plenty of celebrating to do before season 14. But once again, congrats. We'll let you go celebrate, and hopefully we'll be seeing you here. And
yep. Thanks, guys.
That's your top 5 finisher here tonight. Gold winner here for the season and also for the night. The 22 of Tyler Torville. We'll go and bring in our winner here of the race. Don't want to forget him because I think everyone else maybe forgot him, Jimmy, but he kind of checked out from everybody here tonight. The winner here in the 26.
Hey, and Noah, this is Jimmy and Carl on the boot. You copy?
Yeah, I got you.
I just wanted to make sure our microphones reached you because you went to the planet, dude. You took this track and just kicked everybody's behind like it was no tomorrow. You mean there was a little tussle in the beginning, and that 3 just drove away. And I apologize for not showing you more, but man, you were on fire tonight. I mean, walk us down. I mean, can I get some lessons on Indy, please?
I mean, honestly, I got pretty lucky there. I don't know what even happened on that first lap incident with everyone like at the front of the field, but I got lucky to be clear of that. And then from there, I just managed my tires, checked out. I was taking left sides every pit, and then I took rights on my second pit stop. And from what I've heard from others, a lot of guys were choosing to not take tires at all in the first stop. So I think that too made a big difference for me because I was just able to have solid lefts the whole time, and I didn't have to worry about sliding them too much.
I mean, he definitely had the strategy, the speed. The only thing I didn't realize is that you were in a Corvette that we hardly ever see up front amongst the drivers here at CSRL. I did notice it that it was seemed to be the flavor of the week by the top split drivers as I was watching officials. I work from home, so I get a chance to watch some streamers and watch some top split racing. And obviously at Indy. I'm just saying, you never know. But there's got to be something out there. And when it comes to this level of driving between like yourself and Bryce and Mason and Craig, it's the small things, and it's like a tenth here, a tenth there, a pit stop here, cutting an apex there with what gives you the advantage. You had that tonight. You didn't have any incidents. You were flawless. You just drove away. I mean, 30 seconds, dude. I mean, come on. You lapped everybody but 5 people. That's one way to make a staple on CSRL, saying, I am going to be back next season, and I'm running for this championship. So for that, dude, we want to say congratulations. It's just amazing, and you'll fit right in here. The competition's high. You got the speed, you got the talent, and I can't wait to see what you got here next. But like always, we want to say congratulations. But before we let you go out of here and celebrate this rocket ship of a finish, give you some time for any shout outs you might have there, and at number 26 with a 3 stamped on the side.
Yeah, I mean, thanks to everyone at CSRL for putting this on. This is probably the best group of guys I've ever been with racing wise. Like, everyone's just respectful out there and has a head on their shoulders. It's awesome to be a part of. And yeah, thanks to Corvette for seemingly carrying me to a easier win than probably what should have been. But thanks to my old man. I'm not sure if he's watching. It's kind of late for him, but appreciate him. And yeah, just awesome day.
If he's not, you can give him the link to CRN. It's going to be in there under the CSRL folder. So just point him on over there and just show him just keep an eye on that number 26 and just watch that gap just continue to grow the whole race. It was, like I said, awesome to see, especially after over a 2-hour event. So again, congratulations, dude. Thanks for the shout outs. Appreciate you being up here and hope to see you next season. So we'll let you go celebrate with your friends and family.
Awesome. Thanks, guys. Yeah, I'll for sure be back for next season. Looking forward to it.
Awesome.
That is your winner here tonight, and the 26. I mean, just is that could tune in for maybe the first 5 minutes, and then he won't see him anymore.
No,
just like everyone else here. And, he was just absolutely gone on like you said, he was on a planet here tonight. And sometimes you get those races, and you get the feel for the track, and everything just flows, and you can't put a foot wrong. And that's exactly what he did tonight, getting the win here tonight by a huge margin. Well, one thing I can say, Jimmy, is we got something right. We got the points right, and it is going to be Mason Smith joining us here tonight, gets a second place here tonight, and it is enough to get him the championship. The pass there by Tyler Torville made it a 3-point win instead of a 1. But Mason, this was are you done shaking? Are you can you finally breathe now? Because I'll tell you what, you didn't make it easy on yourself here tonight.
Nope. Definitely. I was like, oh, the McLaren, so sketchy. I hate it. But yeah, man, it was just like, if I had one word to describe, it's a dogfight for sure. Like,
well,
with everybody.
I mean, you started off exactly where you wanted to. You started off on the pole, and just those cold tires kind of bit you there. But I assume kind of like I said in the broadcast, and maybe a little bit of what happens to me sometimes. I make a little mistake, and all of a sudden it helps me get locked in. I get a little PO'd about the mistake that I made, and the head goes down, and that's exactly what happened to you. And your head went down. And you didn't stop until you got to the back of Jancic, and we'll get to that here in a little bit. But was that kind of what your mindset was at once you kind of rejoined the track? Surprisingly, after not getting hit by anybody.
Yeah, I was so surprised that like everybody just naturally avoided me, and I gotta give props to that first of all. But like you said, when I did get my head down and just. Okay, 2-hour race, just, take your time, but also just pounce when it's like needed,
Well, it was certainly fun watching you through the field, but then you got to the back of Craig Jancic, and talk to me about all the emotions going on. Obviously, you're battling him for the championship. You need to get around not just him, but you need to get up there to Bryce Reiner, and Bryce was right there when you guys started battling. And all of a sudden that battle ensued and went longer and longer and longer, and Reiner started checking out further and further and further.
Oh my, yeah. Like I said, it was such a dogfight getting around Craig, but I think what really was the difference was I think both Bryce and Craig, they didn't take tires at all. And I took 4s on like my second stop, so I had that advantage of having the grip, and everything. I was able to control the car more easily than Craig and Bryce in the Mustang. So well, I would, yeah. Sorry.
No, I was gonna say, I gotta think one of the scares for you though had to be when Tyler Torville all of a sudden was up there in the mix with you guys, and then looked to make a pass on one of the final couple corners there. But did an unbelievably gentlemanly thing and backed out of the what would assuredly would have been the pass on you.
Oh yeah, it would. It would be, but props to him for having the courtesy of doing that. So I thanked him to that, and just keeping my hopes alive with just getting the champ by passing both Bryce and Craig here.
Well, I gotta ask, and I'm sure you probably did the math pre-hand, but I mean, you get past Jancic, but did you know then at that point you still need to run down Bryce Reiner?
Yeah, I would think so. I would think so, and he was like about 8 seconds on like very worn tires. So I knew I had a chance to just take my time and hit my marks just to close him down and get by him. It was like it's like my dopamine spiked really high as soon as I passed Bryce. Yeah.
Well, I mean, you certainly had the pace on him, but I mean, it was really the pit stop there at the end that gained you a big chunk of time, about 3 seconds that you gained just in that final pit stop to get you up there. But either way, you got it done. You can finally breathe a little bit. You can sleep well tonight if you even can get to sleep after this one. This is certainly. You want to talk about a roller coaster of emotions? I mean, you come in 10 points down, but then you get the pole and get your 3 bonus points, and then you spin on the lap 1. Then you drive up through and get past Craig, but you got to get to Bryce. Then you get a good pit stop and you get up there. I mean, it had to be just unreal here tonight for you. But,
it's the way you describe it. It sounds like a script,
It was a story. It was a story. I mean, like there, Carl in the middle of talking to Jim Dutton. I'm like, hold on a minute. Mason gets the pass by an overcut and comes out in front of Craig Jansen, and it just like, this is what he needed. This is the shot. And then Bryce had a little slower pit stop, and you gained so much time. It was just so exciting up here. I had to cut everybody off.
Yeah.
I mean, forget the F1 movie, forget Rush, forget the Gran Turismo. This is the story that needs to be told. This is the story that needs to be told right here. Like the culmination, the climax of this race right here was insane. But either way, take some time, celebrate this one. You get it done here tonight, and you get the championship done as well. So congrats on all the success this season and finishing out there on the high note and getting the platinum championship. But before we let you go and get out of here, one last time, who do you want to give a shout out to or thanks to?
Absolutely. I want to first thank to Jim Dutton, Craig Jancic, for like allowing 4K guys like me to participate and run in this series. I really appreciate them doing that and creating the platinum class for all the the higher iRating drivers. I think it was really nice of them to do that, and I had a blast racing with all the CSRL guys, especially Craig, Bryce, and Chris too. All those guys, like they all deserve respects. They're no slouches. And of course to y'all on the broadcast, make it entertaining and such every race, every week. And lastly to my family that always watches, they just they always tune in every week, every time I send them the broadcast.
Well, listen, you got one championship done here, but your championship run isn't over. The championship over there in the Core GT series, and I mean, hey, listen, you had 10 points to gain here on Craig tonight, and it was only one race. You got 9 points to gain on Ricky Renner, and you got 2 races. So I mean, it should be a breeze over there in the Core GT. Get that thing done over there. So we certainly wish you luck to try and get 2 championships done here in less than a month. But either way, take some time to celebrate this one, and I'm sure we'll see you back there in season 14.
For sure. Thank you, guys.
That is your second place finish here tonight, and championship winner by 3 points, making the comeback on that championship night here for Mason Smith and the 6. One more interview we got to get to, though, Jimmy. We started with a Torville. We're going to bookend it with a Torville here. Todd Torville getting it done in the silver here tonight for the championship, and even getting the silver win here tonight.
Hey, Todd, Jimmy, and Carl in the booth, Gabby.
How you doing?
Hey, well, it's just an awesome thing to do here tonight, to watching the Torvilles just kind of take over and win championships. And that's what we do here at CSRL. We just paying the Torvilles to win championships out here and showing everybody how to get it done, whether it's in the silver class, the gold class. If you guys had another driver, you got your mom should be out there or something, or the wife, and get out there, and she'd probably win the platinum class or something. But it's definitely an honor to see family members come out here together, have fun, and get the championships. Give us a little rundown of your race though tonight, man. It was 2 hours.
Yeah. Well, first of all, let me just say this. I hope our luck continues for maybe about another 40 minutes. y'all know what happens in about 40 minutes Eastern time, right? I'm going to win $1.4 billion, so you might not see
just
me
send me a new
next.
computer and we'll be happy. I wish you all the luck.
Todd, we've always loved you. We've always thought you were a great kart driver out there. I don't know why they have you in the silver. I think you're a platinum driver all the way.
Silver, platinum, same color.
Hey, you call me whatever you want with that much money, buddy.
Exactly.
But no, great time tonight. You know, and in the silver class, us guys down there, you know, I got some guys, I got to keep my eyes on them. And just had a good race, and we've been practicing for the 6 hour coming up as well. So a lot of practice went in. As I told y'all last week or 2 weeks ago, Beamer's not my favorite car, but again, it did me right tonight. So
you know that thing's supposed to get some love here in the next patch, right?
I'm gonna have to start liking it, I think.
Yeah, I'm reading patch notes, you know, and usually, you know, we've been around iRacing long enough now, when something happens to a car to get updates, it seems to be a little on the nicer side, at least for a few races.
Yep. It's done me well. Especially the last half of the season, it's done me well. But it was a good race. Felt comfortable the whole time. I had 4 incidents, but they were just minor, actually. You know, track felt good. It's just a good, clean race, man. I had a great time.
Yeah, I mean, if anything, you know, I heard you say you were practicing for this for the upcoming endurance race here, and you know, it's one thing to get out here, and you know, I think Carl got me hooked on endurance races many years ago now, and that's probably that's the only reason I run road. That's it. I used to do ovals, but that was what the key thing. It's just the camaraderie, you know, whether it's with family or with just friends or people that you just met within a league. But you know, seeing people come out here compete at different stages and different skill levels is always awesome. And that the CSRL kind of gives you all the platform to do that. And I think, you know, there was a battle here in pretty much every single level of skill, I guess you call it. William Burrell finishing right behind you. He was the one chasing you here tonight. So making things extremely close. You know, but obviously you were able to get that win over him here tonight, and more likely, obviously, you know, with that finish, since he was chasing you and he was behind you, you walk away with that championship here. So, you know, obviously up here in the booth, we continue to watch everybody kind of grow, get better, have their incidents. You guys probably don't like to watch them being replayed, but you know, we try to show the fans out there, and it's not the easiest thing in the world. It's just a hobby. We're out, a bunch of people out here having fun. So we want to say congratulations from the booth, and give you some time for any shout outs there on that 911.
Roger that. Well, again, I appreciate it. Appreciate you guys, Jim, and, you know, the league. It's a ball, man. We just have so much fun. I think this is probably my son and I's 5th year or 5th season, whatever. And, you know, not planning on going anywhere. I'll be back every time if they'll have us. And, you know, shout out to the family, of course. Wife lets me do this, lets me spend the money. And, you know, the boys on Ace Motorsports, who we practice so hard with, couldn't do it without them, because I don't like practicing, but they force me, and obviously it helps. So,
come on, Pop, let's go.
Yeah, I get forced to get on there to practice, and it's starting to click in this old man's mind that maybe these kids are onto something. So
yeah, they're pretty much like that. You know, it's starting to, I've, you know, got a few years on myself here, and all 6 of my kids, they look at my sim rig and they're like, "Dad, you're crazy." And I was like, well, it's, you know, it's me, it's fun. But I have a few, they dabble in other driving games, just not the iRacing, but it's fun. So either way, a big, huge congratulations for the great season here for yourself and your family. So you guys got a lot to celebrate. Wish you the best of luck on the lottery. I forgot to buy a ticket, so you get my luck. And
I got you, brother.
Yeah, and definitely look forward to seeing you next season, because Jim wants us back. So you guys are got to deal with another season. So when we look forward to it. So again, congratulations. I'll let you go celebrate with your friends and family.
Thanks a lot, guys. Appreciate y'all.
Yes, sir.
Good night.
Good night.
That was the silver division winner here tonight, and winner for the championship as well, Todd Torville, as certainly the Torvilles have plenty of celebrating to do for this season. Jimmy, I want to do a little celebrating ourselves because we've been with CSRL now for quite a few seasons, and the fact that they're bringing us on again and still wanting to deal with us for another season, I don't get it.
For punishment.
I don't know what we're doing so well, or maybe we're just doing things so wrong that they laugh at us. And tonight I'm driving home. Luckily, I'm in traffic, so I can watch your broadcast while I'm driving and do some commentary. Either way, we get it done one way or another. I mean, between computers failing and power outages, and the joys of being an iRacing broadcaster here, there's certainly some head scratching moments, some hair pulling out moments, but we get it done, and certainly pleasure to have CSRL under the CRN umbrella, and lucky to back for what's going to be season number 14 for the Casual Sim Racers League. But it's been a blast here in season number 13, and love to see all 3 championships coming down to the wire, and even had a championship lead stolen in the final laps here to get Mason Smith the championship. But sounds like we got some things that may shake up here a little bit points wise for next season. Looking forward to it, seeing if they're going to have maybe 4 divisions for next season. And either way, it's a great product that gets put on here by Jim Dutton and all the admins here for CSRL. So thank you to them. Thank you to all the supporters out there in CRN Nation. If you haven't done so yet, I know I haven't said it since Jimmy said it, but hit that like and subscribe and get you in touch with everything that CRN has to offer, as we got plenty of great racing all throughout the week. But want to give one final shout out to the sponsors here for the season and all the support that they give CSRL. 40 Racewear, makers of the ultimate sim racing shoes and custom apparel designed for sim racing by sim racers. 40 sim racing shoes, custom engineered to connect racers to the pedals in a way no other racing shoe can, while still providing the comfort needed for those double and triple stints. Visit 40racewear.com and check out the latest sim racing products, including the original racing gloves for your feet. For Martin PC, they are focused on providing high-quality PCs, rigs, and components at an affordable price. Your investment in sim racing is exactly the same as racing with an actual car, and they take that same methodology at Martin. From the engine PC to the chassis rig, pedals, wheels, and shifter, you deserve components that match your desire to compete. Thank you again for tuning in to season number 13 here of CSRL. We are done for now, but we will be back for season number 14. Make sure you check out the Pit Road Sim, or the Pit Road Speed Limit Racing series. In the meantime, it's still going on right now, and will be going on until we get back going here at CSRL as well. But for myself and Jimmy from the CRN booth here at Indianapolis, we'll see you at the track.